Welcome back, everyone. This is Akinar here with more Elden Ring. That's right, Elden Ring. You've caught me here in the middle of doing some farming in Anir Alim, farming for perhaps my favorite item in the game, golden horn tenders, because you can never have enough runes. Am I right? I have found a little spot here where I had noticed that that these Inquisitors, these guys drop those golden horn tenders. They love to drop them, and the big boy especially loves dropping those golden horn tenders. There we go. Ooh, we got two. Oh, we're off to a good start here. This is great. 2 in one little run, and then I can just head back to the site of grace here. And yeah, there's just like a crap load of Inquisitors to kill. And my at the end of New Game, when we had finished off the Elden Beast, my brother had informed me about this this weapon that you get, this sword from the Elden Beast, and its weapon art, Wave of Gold. This thing is something else. This Wave of Gold, it just keeps going. It doesn't stop. I guess apparently at one, I don't know if they changed this, they nerfed it or something, but I think there was a farming spot out in Mogwin Palace at one point before the DLC came out, where maybe it's still there. We might check this out at some point. But look at how this thing just keeps on, like it doesn't stop. There's no brakes on this golden train. No, the fun don't stop. And so I've been making sure that fun doesn't stop by utilizing this here to farm up some golden horn tenders. But I guess the spot over in the Mogwin Palace had this. You could there was the site of grace up by the Alban Norex, and then across the way was one of those crazy murder birds, like across the chasm, and you could just farm this thing over and over, because all you had to do was sit at the site of grace and just keep spamming the Wave of Gold to kill the bird, and then sit at the site of grace and just rinse and repeat. So yeah, this thing is it has some very useful farming applications. There's also another route here I'll show you in a moment that I've been using to farm silver horn tenders, as well as some scorpion liver. So getting stocked up on these very essential DLC materials, especially because we're not able to craft the horn tenders. Gotta get ready, gotta have those ready to go into New Game Plus, because last time, as you all will remember, last time we were together, we took on the Promised Consort Radon. The Promised Consort was what a crazy boss. And equally crazy was the fact that when I went to go edit my footage, realizing that the number of attempts that the number of attempts against Radon was the exact same number. I kid you not, as I do an empty Wave of Gold here. The exact same number of attempts as Malenia. 47 attempts. I don't... How does that happen? How in the world? What are the chances? I couldn't believe it. But it was so fitting that, of course, Malenia and Radon would be the two most difficult bosses, by far the only two bosses that have ever taken me plus 40 plus attempts in a FromSoft game. But on top of that, they're the exact same number, of attempts. Just crazy. But also very fitting that we utilized the Scarlet Aeonia to take down the Promised Consort. But you'll also remember, I'm sure, at the time, that that I did say that my adventures in New Game Plus, you know, I was going to be enjoying New Game Plus on my own time. That it was not going to be something I was just going to be enjoying it on my own, off camera. And as I was thinking about it, well, I kind of had a change of heart. Frankly, I changed my mind, because as I was thinking about it, I realized, like, there are, you know, there's a lot of things we haven't done yet. There's a lot of things I haven't done yet. There's a lot of stuff I've missed. I've got a list of things here that we're going to go through before we actually even get to New Game Plus. There's a couple caves that I didn't even get to on top of the one that we missed out in Caelid with the Golden Scarab. There's things that I've missed. There are characters who you know, the Lord of Chaos sort of ended prematurely. And also, you know, we pissed off Melina, the Lord of Chaos, embracing the three fingers. Yeah, Melina wasn't so hot on that idea. So we got a lot of new stuff with Melina to cover. There are so many, you know, alternate interactions, new first-time interactions. I have ongoing thoughts and questions about the lore. So much still to cover. And as I was thinking about it, it just didn't quite feel right to me. Okay, cool. Cool move there, bro. I don't know, have I ever been grabbed by a scorpion before? That dude's got some moves. As I was thinking about it, it just didn't quite feel right for us to be, for me to be enjoying and experiencing all of that for myself, by myself. It's been so much fun having you all along for the ride. And what can I say? It wouldn't feel quite right to be doing it all on my own. So I had the thought, what if we continued our adventure into New Game Plus, not as a regular series, not as something that happens every week, or not even something that happens every month, because, you know, there's as much new stuff as there is yet to be done. There's a lot of old stuff. There's a lot of ground that we've covered before. There's a lot of Erdtree avatars that are all over the place that we don't need to revisit every single one of those experiences. And a lot of that I can experience on my own time. But when there are new things, when there is new ground to cover, when I do have some new thoughts on the lore based on, you know, another experience about going through New Game Plus is getting to relive a lot of the dialogue that you have experienced on previous occasions, but you maybe didn't think too much of. And now you see it again, and it's like, oh, now that makes sense given what we know about this other person. And, you know, when there are those thoughts, when there are those ideas that arise, it's not, you know, a terrible idea for us to be able to have a forum here where we can still share that together. And so I think that's what we'll do. As you can see, I've got my silver tier husk, or tier mask, and other items here to boost my arcane and item discovery to farm those DLC essential items. Still didn't get a single scorpion liver to drop there on that roundabout, but that's, you know, those scorpion livers are tough to come by. But to wrap up my thoughts on that, I think that's what we'll do. It's not going to be a regular ongoing series. It's going to be an ongoing series, but not something that happens on a regular basis. It's just going to be when I get to it. So don't expect these videos to come, you know, they will happen when they happen. That's what I will say. So let me look at my list here. I have a full list of stuff that we need to cover before moving on to New Game Plus. The other fun thing to do in New Game Plus is try new builds, and we are going to be doing a sorcery build. That is one of the things that is on the agenda. We'll be getting here to that shortly. But I guess the first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and spend this copious amount of runes that I've piled up here. We will go ahead and level up with these. I have been spending a lot of these runes as I've been farming off camera. A lot of these runes have been going to leveling up. Man, 4 levels here. Jesus Christ. I have not been leveling up with these runes off camera. The runes that I've been acquiring through my off camera farming have been going to shopping, because I've been basically buying out every single vendor in the lands between and anything else that I could think of. So I don't really have, I've stocked up on smithing stones more than I'll ever need, probably. I've leveled up every last set of ashes. All of my spirit ashes are upgraded. Like, it's kind of insane. So that's just the kind of player I am. I like to do it all. I'm a completionist, and I like having all the things upgraded. And so we're there. I can even show you, just so you know. Just so you know, look at all these ashes that I'm never like the noble sorcerer ashes, the you know, winged misbegotten ashes. Have I ever even summoned you? You're a +9 now. Congratulations. Rotten stray ashes, like none of these, half of these I've never even used. More than half probably, but they're all upgraded because that's how I play the game. So there we go. And we've also spent the runes that we've been farming up here. What I need to do, there are several things in the DLC apparently still that that need to be attended to. One of those, I completely forgot. After we finished off the Promised Consort and we finished off Mikola, I was kind of like, well, there's no NPCs left. It's basically just Horny Granny, and there's really nobody to check in with. I completely forgot about Saint Trina. I'm so sorry. Saint Trina, who's like, was at some point part of Mikola. Hello? How could you forget about Saint Trina? And Saint Trina had, of course, warned us. Is there? Oh, I thought that was a crafting material I could pick up. I was like, how did I not pick that up? Oh, what the fuck? There's an item here? Are you serious? Oh no, and Trina, oh no. But of course, oh wow. So, crap, Mikola, oh my gosh. So Mikola, he had discarded her, but that didn't mean she was disconnected. She was still part of him. And so us taking down Mikola means, well, I don't know. Are you gone? Saint Trina's Blossom, an epic helm. Oh no. I was trying to look and see this. This is like some sort of a flower. This is so strange to try to visually parse here, especially my cat laser brain trying to put together these details. Has her torso, it's like her torso has fallen off, almost as though it were like a flower petal or something that has fallen off of the plant. Because she doesn't have there's not like a rest of her body, like the legs and stuff. I guess that's, her legs are roots, but this is so strange. Can't talk to her at all, can we? No, nothing to be done. Can we even see? Her eyes are closed. Those crazy long eyelashes. There's something about Saint Trina's character model. It's so bizarre. The arms and the fingers, they feel different from most other FromSoft characters, and that's probably on purpose because you have such a, look at the hair. Yeah, like part of her hair is still attached to the plant section. This is such a crazy character design. And now we have Saint Trina's Blossom. Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought this was gonna be like turning our head. The way that FromSoft does these things, you figure like, okay, it's gonna be, you know, like pothead, or, you know, mushroom head, or snake head, like all these crazy bizarre helms. I thought that's what this was gonna be, is we're gonna be flower head. Well, not really. It's just a little, like we're some sort of like a Roman emperor here with the purple flower. Description, please. Let me press the right buttons here. Slightly boosts max FP. I see now it gave us like 13 FP. Saint Trina's life withered and fell as fleeting as the seasons. At her last, she left a single water lily. Despite the velvety purple hue, the flower is in no way poisonous. It merely blooms in quietude. Yeah, this was obviously there's a different thing to do with Tialier. When I eventually do reach the DLC in New Game Plus, Tialier, I didn't quite sequence things optimally, so to speak. And there's more to do with him. So strange, so strange. I was thinking we were gonna have a conversation with Trina, but I guess it makes sense that she was still connected to Mikola, and so now that he's gone, well, she goes along with him. Crazy. On another note, this as I'm listening to the soundtrack in this area, it had been a little while since I had let it fully play out. It's gorgeous. I don't know if this is. I might have to move this up on my list, but I feel like this is really underrated. Or I had been I had been sleeping on this the OST for Saint Trina. Haha, you see what I did there? This is just gorgeous. I think it makes sense. The next item, I've got several items here on my DLC list, but one of them relates to Shaman Village. I've got a couple things regarding Shaman Village that I think we'll touch base on here. Let's go to, yeah, we're covering stuff here. This might be the entire episode. This is technically, I'm gonna probably count this as part of the New Game Plus series, but this is prep for New Game Plus, post log or epilogue for New Game. Whatever you want to call it, it may not actually have New Game Plus in it, but I'm gonna count it as such because there's just still so much to this game. And I got ahead of myself here because there's actually something at the side of Grace that I wanted to equip. I wanted to see one of the things I was doing. Let me just go back directly to the side of Grace. It's right here. At first, I was like, where is the site of Grace? It's mixing in with the flowers. I can't see it. I have my own little flower too now. Like, everything is upside down. Inside out. What I wanted to equip the Minor Erdtree spell. I had tried Minor Erdtree on its own, like in the round table hold or something. Did a little off-camera experimentation just to kind of see, to get an idea. Maybe not the round table hold. It was somewhere where I could test to see how much healing it was doing, and it was just not all that much. It really wasn't doing it for me. And so I didn't really end up using it for any of our new game adventure. What am I trying to do here? This is what we're doing. We're boosting our faith with our wondrous physic. I want to do a couple things though. What I had not thought to do was trying to use the Minor Erdtree spell back at Shaman Village. Would that actually do anything? Because, so one of the things I've been taking some suggestions from you all, of course. When we did our tying up loose ends, I was asking for you all to give me some nudges about stuff that I had missed. And I think that's what we'll do, actually, ongoing into New Game Plus. Part of the fun of this New Game Plus adventure is going to be, you know, I'm very strict on, when it comes to the first playthrough, I'm very, very adamant about, don't tell me anything. Let me do it all on my own because I want that experience to be organic. If I make mistakes, if I miss stuff, if it's frustrating because I don't know how to do the Ashes of War system for like 50 episodes, it is what it is. Like that's my playthrough. And it's the nature of the beast. But when it comes to New Game Plus, now to me it's a lot more fun if we're kind of playing it together. And if you all are giving me some I don't necessarily want to be told exactly you know, every last little bit of detail on every part of the game. But if there is something that I've missed and you want me to explore a certain area of the world, you could say, hey, go check out, maybe explore this near this particular site of Grace. Or if there is a character that maybe I should do something different with, you know, maybe think about trying something different this time around with character XYZ. I'm open to those suggestions. I just don't necessarily, I don't want to be told what's going to happen or what I'm going to find. Don't spoil anything on the ultimate discovery of new things in New Game Plus. But helping me get to those new things and pointing me in the right direction, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. Or actually, I would even actively encourage it. Because that, I think, is going to be part of the fun of mixing things up. Let's drink our Flask of Wonders Physic. What I wanted to see, does anything happen if we actually sprout a minor Erd Tree here? Does anything happen? Doesn't look like it. This minor Erd Tree is, it's a fun little animation. It just doesn't do that much healing. So I hadn't really, you know, if maybe if I end up playing online for New Game Plus and I'm doing more summoning or being summoned, I don't know. At the same time, we're going to be doing a different build. The Faith build is going to be put on the shelf for at least a little bit with New Game Plus. One of the things, as I try to keep my train of thought together here, there was a comment. Somebody had suggested that there was an interaction in Shaman Village, a special interaction with perhaps an item that I found in Shaman Village. I don't know if I fully understood this comment. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. But I think the person was trying to hint me in the direction of the Golden Braid. We obviously picked up this Golden Braid here. And it's this, this Queen Marika's offering to the grandmother, which we picked up here. However, I don't think I ever actually equipped it. I did not equip it previously while we were in Shaman Village. And the comment, I thought, had suggested that maybe there was some sort of a special interaction equipping it here. Maybe I need to review the comment to see exactly what this person was suggesting. That was a broken rune, nothing else. I saw a prompt on my screen for just a split second and I thought, oh, was there a new character that just appeared out of nowhere? If equipping the Golden Braid is supposed to have some effect, I am certainly not noticing that effect. Not yet, at least. I couldn't quite figure. It doesn't. Equipping talismans, equipping a particular talisman in a particular area. Have we? Maybe that's happened before with Elden Ring, and I've just forgot the instances of that. Those sort of like special interactions. That feels like a very like Blasphemous kind of had a lot of this. Playing some Blasphemous not too long ago here on the channel. That game had a lot of those sorts of special things. Special effects and puzzles to be solved by equipping the right set of rosary beads. But I'm not necessarily seeing that here. Maybe I'll check exactly what this person had commented. So I didn't actually note the comment word for word. The notes that I made, I had interpreted it as saying that the minor Erd Tree could potentially react to us having on Marika's Braid, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I had wondered for myself, given we've got this minor Erd Tree spell, which didn't seem to have any effect, but also in part of my New Game Plus prep, I have been going through and like turning in various boss souls and doing some boss soul duplication and whatnot. And Marika's Hammer was one of these items that I picked up from the You get it also from the Elden Beast, don't you? So I think I actually duplicated that one at one of the mausoleums. The Gold Breaker. There's no way that that would have some special interaction here, would it? The Gold Breaker. America's Hammer. The special ability. Leap up high. It's the heroic Radagon's signature attack. It says it's the Gold Breaker, the tool with which Queen Marika shattered the Elden Ring. But then Radagon attempted to repair it. Stonehammer made in the lands of the Numen, outside the lands between. Is this what it's talking about? Is this supposed to be the land of the Numen? Now it's Shaman Village, right? And we didn't hear, I don't think we heard the term Numen one time in the DLC. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. Like, is the term Numen, is that a George R.R. Martin term that maybe was supposed to... Are those people supposed to be related to the shamans here somehow? Or are they actually supposed to be one and the same? Is shaman supposed to be equivalent to Numen? But there's a connection there that's a little bit tough to make for my literalist brain. But I think we know clearly that this was Marika's home. And I know that another thing, something that you all have been hinting at and trying to nudge me in the direction of paying more closer attention to has been not just Shaman Village, but also Bonnie Village. And people, there was one comment in particular that got quite a few upvotes. Why don't we go ahead and go here to, I think that was all that I wanted to do in, all that I could think to try in Shaman Village, just to see if there were any special Marika-related interactions or effects. But yeah, you all have been, there's been some attention, or some nudges to keep revisiting Bonnie Village. Let's see, which one do I want to go here to? Maybe we'll go to the bridge leading to the village. There had been a lot of people saying, go back and check Bonnie Village again. And I've not really, I hadn't yet been able to figure out what exactly you all had been trying to get my attention with. And then there was a comment not too long ago, I don't remember what video it was on, but somebody had talked about the tooth whip. And maybe there's been a couple different comments about this. But one item that has been mentioned is the tooth... Oh, we need to sort this correctly here. The tooth whip. Check this out again. And I had to be reminded. I was like, okay, where exactly did I pick this up? And then once I was reminded that I had picked it up in Shaman Village, then I did remember. Ah, yes. Yes, it was at this hut, wasn't it? I eventually did remember the whipping the whipping hut. That what was this guy saying? I forgot what you saying. For pity's sake, your place is in the jar. Nigh sainthood itself awaits you within. For shamans like you, this is your lot. Oh, I missed the last part. Sorry, there was one more line. This is your lot. Life were you accorded for this alone. Shamans, for shamans like you, this is your lot. Shamans. So, having received this nudge to take another look at the tooth whip, and remembering the fact that, oh, we did actually pick this up in Bonnie Village, didn't we? The whipping hut. What does it say? Whip bestrewn with rotting, misshapen teeth, filthy and seething with disease. The teeth are embedded in the whip and dose the victim with deadly poison upon each strike. As the wounds ripen, they grow inflamed and ooze pus. The flesh of shamans was said to meld harmoniously with others. The flesh of shamans was said to meld harmoniously with others. Okay. Okay. The shamans? Is this why there are no more shamans in Shaman Village? They were all brought here to Bonnie Village? Were they stuffed in the jars? It sure sounds like they were, according to this guy. Now, another item, or I had also received, I actually had even, in fact, reached out, one of my, I call them trusted advisors. I have my siblings, but I also do have some people who I know from my days on Twitch, as well as people who I've met here on the channel. I've got some people who I do chat with about the game on occasion, who I trust to give me nudges that are not going to reveal everything, but they're also going to get me pointed in the right direction. And so I did ask for a little bit of, you know, I said, a lot of people have been pointing me back to Bonnie Village. Can you give me some clues as to what should I be looking at, or what should I be re-examining? What items should I be giving attention to? Because I'm at a point now with the game that I have so many notes. There are so many items in my inventory. I almost don't know where to start on some subjects. And I don't mind. I have a lot of fun playing Lore Detective, but I think this is a stage of the game, if we're going to be doing this series going forward into New Game Plus, it's a stage where I'm comfortable with you all giving me some clues, or saying maybe you should re-examine this particular item, just like we did with the Tooth Whip. I got the direction from my trusted advisor. There were a couple suggestions. One of them was to check out Hornsense Mask. Hornsense Mask. Okay. Oh, there it is right there. I see it. I see it right here. The Caterpillar Mask. Caterpillar Mask. So what does this say? Grotesque mask constructed from countless solidified caterpillars. Lovely. A ritual implement of the Greater Potentates of Bonnie Village. Yep. A ritual implement of the Greater Potentates of Bonnie Village. Used to ward off thoughts of impurity, doubt, temptation, and other wickedness one is vulnerable to while absorbed in divine ritual. Okay, we'll think about that here. Another item, or another set of items that I was told to consider, was think about, maybe take a look at crafting materials for pots. Crafting materials for pots. Well, there are a lot of different types of pots. But what do they all have in common? I thought. They have pots in common. That's what they have. They all have pots. I'm smart, guys. I figured that out. Look at me. Pots all have pots. So I thought, well, maybe I should look at the description for pots again. Hefty, cracked pot. The materials and magic sealed within deploy their effects when the pot is thrown. This hefty, empty pot somehow mends itself when broken. Essential vessel for crafting hefty, cracked pot items. The Greater Potentates of Bonnie Village craft these and store them in a frozen jail. The hefty, empty pot somehow mends itself when broken. I will admit that this item I did read momentarily off camera. And the thought that I had at the time was related to the Tooth Whip, which I had also reread off camera. The Tooth Whip mentions the fact that the flesh of shamans was said to meld harmoniously with others. I had this wild idea the other day as I was thinking about this, and I read those two items back to back. I had this weird thought that are the jars themselves made out of shamans? Because I read the bit about the fact that it mends itself when broken. And in fact, all these jars do that, right? Not just the hefty ones. I thought this special ability of the shaman's flesh to meld harmoniously with others. Somehow in my mind, I also thought that that meant that it could mend itself. And therefore, the cracked pots were made out of the flesh of shamans. Now I'm not so sure. I'm having a little bit of doubt because meld and mend, I had thought those were the exact same word. They're different words. So, and also this guy just said that the shamans were getting stuffed in the jars. Well, are there any other, in that case, are there any other materials from the, I would imagine they would be DLC materials that would go into these hefty pots. Are there other details on any of these that might make sense to review? Red flesh mushrooms. The flesh of the mushroom is similar to raw meat and can serve as pot innards. Huh. So one way or the other, you need to have some sort of flesh to go inside of the pots. And then the shaman flesh somehow melds harmoniously with all of it. Why exactly is that important, though? That's ultimately where my brain hasn't quite made the connection. It feels like there's a big connection to make here, and you all are trying to get me there, which I appreciate. But I'm still having, like, ultimately, what are the jars used for? That's the big question in my mind. And the place my mind always goes is I know that when we see all the minor Erd trees in the lands between and all those Erd tree avatars that we battled, there's also a whole bunch of broken pots around. And I can't help but think, like, oh, that's the ultimate purpose here, it looks like. They're taking the shamans from Shaman Village, where you had where America left a minor Erd tree of her own. But they're taking those shamans and then breaking the jars open to fuel the minor Erd trees in the other parts of the lands between. But that's kind of where my theory just peters out. I don't really have any more details that I can think to flesh things out. Haha. I just feel like there's still something that I'm missing from whatever it is that you all are trying to get me to realize about Shaman Village / Bonnie Village. It just feels like I'm still missing something. But I also wonder, am I, you know, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Like, maybe it's just as simple as the fact that, you know, the Greater Potentates over here, they were just, you know, they were taken down. Oh, that's so fun. They were just, you know, the poor shamans that never harmed a fly. I can't say that for sure. I have no idea whether the shamans harmed a fly or any other living organism. I need to fucking get some health over here real quick. Hold on. Oh, you're getting health too? Fine. Fine, I guess we're both doing that. This America's Hammer is not super powerful because I haven't leveled it up. It'd probably be this battle would probably go a lot better for me if I actually used a weapon that had some damage attached to it. Something that actually has seen the, that has been to Smithing Master Hugh to get itself powered up. Maybe it's no more complicated, though, than the Greater Potentates went after the poor shamans and brought them here and stuffed them in some pots. And that's all there is to it. You know, from what I understand, the game is, the DLC in particular, is not one of these, there's no definitive consensus necessarily on the lore in the DLC. I feel like maybe there is more consensus with the base game, but judging from your all's comments, there's a lot that is still left up to interpretation, and there is an ongoing debate on many of the different subjects and characters and topics in the DLC. So I'm okay as well hearing some input from you all. What are your thoughts on what's going on in Shaman Village or Bonnie Village? Since there is no like one agreed upon set of here's what happened and everybody agrees this is how it happened. Like that's kind of the one of the main things that I want to avoid on a first blind playthrough. Like I just don't want to be told here's what the ultimate ground truth is. It seems like that doesn't exist in the case of the DLC. It seems like there is no ultimate agreed upon truth, per se. So, hearing everybody's opinions is a lot of fun at this point, honestly. Now, one of the other things I've been directed to re-examine my exploration in this initial forest area of the DLC. Because apparently I was so focused on exploring like the sides, my habit of, you know, poking all the corners. In this case, I may have been so focused on the corners that I actually just overlooked something obvious that was in the middle of the place, supposedly. So we're gonna take a little time and explore through this area, even though it's not my favorite area in the DLC, just because of the birds. The birds are so they make you jump. The birds are, why do they have to be so loud and sudden with their, they scare the shit out of me, man, those stinking owls. I think this is actually the main road here that we're meant to explore. I'm just going back out of the forest for a moment just to make sure I'm getting not missing any. I don't know that there would have been an NPC or something that we would have run into. I feel like we haven't missed any NPCs, but who knows? But the little nudge that I got was that maybe the way that I interpreted the nudge was to check the main road, because there was maybe something that you didn't run into, that you were meant to just experience naturally and organically, and you missed it. What could that be? What could that be? So far I'm not seeing it. I don't know if it was meant to happen already, but now I feel like we're kind of where we ended up. Down here by the soldiers and the fire dog. The soldiers who aren't attacking me. I am not noticing anything different, though. Maybe it wasn't the main road that I was supposed to explore. Maybe it was a little bit off of the main road, or somewhere in the more middle area of the forest. It's hard to say what is the middle area of this forest, but maybe somewhere around here. Like, this is kind of the middle? Wait a second. Okay, there's... Oh, what the fuck? What the... There's an NPC out here. Loger the Beast Claw? Okay, I think we found what I was supposed to be looking for. It was not on the main road, but it also wasn't in the... It also wasn't in... It was kind of in the middle. You were right. You were right. I think it was Wrangle or Rangel. I'm not sure how the username is said, but the kindly, oh my gosh, it's Wolverine. It's Wolverine. Okay, all right. Loger is like short for Logan. And you actually look like Wolverine. What the fuck? Okay, they actually put Wolverine in the game. Okay, hi. You gonna get away from the wave of gold? You think you can escape? You think you can escape? No one can escape. Yeah, I'll drink. I'll drink. Sure. We can both drink. We can both drink to that. That's fine. I'm just gonna spam wave of gold if you don't mind. Oh, my unupgraded hammer. That's not very interesting to use. It would certainly make things a bit more challenging though. I do like that the Radagon's hammer cannot be interrupted. That part is pretty nice. Even if it does shit for damage, because it's not upgraded. But man, and then it hits you up in the air. Launches them into the air. Okay, hello. We have ourselves a Beast Claw. Wolverine mode activate. Weapon in the form of a carnivorous beast's vicious claws. That looks very cool. Used to perform bestial slashing attacks, uncanny to humankind. An imitation of the esoteric technique of the Horned Warriors. Those who carry this weapon wield it as though they have been possessed by a savage beast. The character model they intentionally made look like Hugh Jackman, didn't they? They actually... What the fuck? We've been attacked by Wolverine himself. Savage claws pounce like a beast to viciously slash into foes with left and right claws. Wolverine mode. You might notice that I have a whole bunch of other boss weapons that have exclamation marks next to them. Some boss weapons, some weapons that I bought from vendors, like these perfume bottles that I'm probably still never gonna use. But yeah, a whole bunch of I don't know why I have a pair. Oh, that's right. I also bought a bunch of these like shields and things that I didn't have. I don't think I had, from various vendors from the lands between. So, you know, my bags are full of a whole bunch of fun stuff here. But the Beast Claw. Actual Beast Claw. Was this not also a Bloodborne weapon? Wasn't that a weapon in Bloodborne? Beast Claw? What the fuck, dude? How did we miss Logan? How did we miss him? Oh wait, there was an item here on him as well? That was not, oh hold on, that's a random deer that just got killed by my wave of gold. I didn't even look. This is Cat Laser Brain. Tunnel vision sees the item and it's like, oh, I missed something on Loger the Beast Claw. It's a freaking random deer. What the hell? I think the Wolverine's gone. He dematerialized, as is the penchant of most NPCs. Let's see this Savage Claws in action now. Damn! Yo! Give me some FP. Try that again here. Dude! That is sick. There is a part of me at some point, not now, or not for New Game Plus, or well, at least not to start New Game Plus, because I want to do the sorcery build, and we're gonna get to doing some sorcery fun here momentarily. But at some point, there is a part of me that wants to do like a Beast Claw type, you know, fist weapon run, you know? And maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one. Maybe they finally have a move set that makes you feel like you're back in Bloodborne. Oh, that is a lot of fun. I think I am gonna have fun with this weapon at some point. At some point, there will be claw. The claw action will be had. So that's the perfect kind of hint as well. The hint that was given to me was, you know, go check this location. You kind of missed something in the middle of this area. And you know, even though I knew exactly where to look, it still took me a minute to find the dang thing. And then of course I didn't know exactly what I was looking for, and that the fun surprise was still to be had. So So with that, the next thing on my list, we're still going down the list of DLC stuff. Because this DLC was just jam-packed of all sorts of things. I'm gonna make a switch on my cat laser brain here is gonna switch around my golden horn. Golden. We're gonna make some switcheroo on things here to make sure I don't forget to that I don't accidentally pop a silver horn tender when I mean to do a gold pickle foulfoot in New Game Plus. And there we go. Now that important stuff is taken care of, there was apparently a torn note that I picked up in Midra's Manse. I don't know if it's here. There it is. Torn diary page. Apparently, I've been nudged to reread this. Apparently, this was... Let's take another look at this here. A discarded page ripped from a diary bearing a passage written in a tremulous hand. I touched him, but only once. When he thrust his staff in my face, I brushed it aside. It was then that I touched him, the aging untouchable. Okay. Okay. I don't think I would have ever gotten this on my own. I definitely would never have gotten this on my own. Apparently, this is a clue about the winter lanterns. Because I guess they can be parried. I see it now. I understand it now. The aging untouchable is one of the winter lanterns. It was then that I touched him. When he thrust his staff in my face, I brushed it aside. So I also, like, I also would not have put this together with winter lanterns because in my mind, winter lanterns are all she's, not he's, because of the singing from Bloodborne. So yeah, I would definitely not have picked up on that. What we're gonna do here, okay. I don't necessarily have a super, I don't have this, like, unstoppable, unquenchable thirst or desire to go back and try to parry the winter lanterns, but I think you all would enjoy seeing it. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna... I have a feeling you all want to see me try. So against my, perhaps my better judgment, we're gonna at least make sure that our runes are safe. We're gonna get to the next level here, which is what? Okay, I need like 50k. Do I just have 50k or do I need to go farm this? I should have 50k. With all the runes in my bag, I just don't want to necessarily use... Like, I could pop this rune of an unsung hero, but I also like the idea of keeping one of every single type of rune. Could I get there with, from the rest of what's in my bag still? We've really gotten... I've gone through a lot of these runes, actually. Finally. Yeah, just using all of our broken runes is like 30k on its own. And then we should be able to get there with a bunch of these others. I actually don't quite need to do that many with this one, I don't think, because that's like 10k on its own. And now we just need another 4k, so try to be as efficient as I always try to be. I just love it. I love my efficiency, man. I can't let it go. So there we go. Another point into... We're going to be doing a respec at Renala soon enough, so these points only matter to just have them banked. They don't matter exactly where we put them. Level 230. Okay. So now what I need, though, is I do need a shield that's actually capable of parrying. Let's sort these shields a little bit better here. I'd kind of want to do... the gold. There it is. We have one that's equipped with a golden parry. Because if I was ever gonna do a parrying build, I think I would want to do it with like, I don't know if this gives you more frames in which to be able to parry the enemy, but it feels like it would. Because otherwise, why would you use a golden parry instead of just a regular parry? But that's what we're gonna try here. Because apparently, if you do parry these winter lanterns, you can actually kill them. All right, so let's find out how long it takes me to actually get the hang of this, because I have no, I didn't even, we faced We got killed once by these things, and that was the only time that I ever saw their attacks in action. Oh, you do that? Yeah, I think I missed. I missed. Okay. I didn't realize they get to just frenzy you from a distance. So that's the Winter Lantern attack that I was more accustomed to, that I was subjected to far too often during my adventure in Bloodborne. So that's a little more like it, I gotta say. So what I think I might have better luck with here is if I try to not have them do that attack, but we do try to like trigger the sound alarm. Get you to run over here. And now do your thing. I was too soon. Okay, but they have, okay, we can see their little wand or staff. Wait, that didn't kill me? Okay, I'm not dead apparently. The classic. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm dead. Okay, let me get a hydrate here. You all wanted to see this, didn't you? You all wanted to freaking, god damn it. I think I see, at least though, what I'm supposed to be parrying, so that's good. The little like, there's a light at the end of the staff. And that's the signal here. I just need to be able to see it, that's all. So I don't want to be like in the bushes when you actually attack. Dang it! Go again. Try again. Oh! Oh, let's go! Let's go, baby! Okay. We got it. Swollen grape acquired. So you can kill these things, and they drop swollen grapes. I don't know if that's a guaranteed thing. I don't know if we got super lucky. I'm no longer wearing my silver husk, but maybe I should be. Maybe I should go back to, this is now a Winter Lantern farming video, folks. So we're re-equipping our maximum item discovery here in order to maximize. Oh, I just hate that I can't bring Torrent in this. I can't ride Torrent in this area. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. There's not another lantern nearby, is there, in this area? Okay, so there's the rats. The rats I don't think are gonna drop what I want. But they're here, you know. They're just hanging out. Oh, I forgot I have the parry now. I can't do Wave of Gold without two-handing this thing. Clear out the rats. And get some more broken runes. Okay. So where's the next closest Winter Lantern? Am I gonna have to warp somewhere else? There were more over here, weren't there? Let's get our golden parry back. There's gotta be more. There's gotta be more. Was it just the one right here? Okay, I think we're gonna warp to a different side of Grace, because there were other... There was a place that was more heavily... Didn't we find one... Didn't we find... I could have sworn there were more, though, right here. I could have sworn. I guess not, though. Where were they? Now, all of a sudden, I'm getting a little bloodthirsty because I know your trick, or at least I got lucky once. I don't know if I've fully figured out the trick. I feel pretty confident. It's a little ways down the road, but there was at least one Winter Lantern this way. Although it was in kind of a foggy area, so I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just go. Let's just do the same one again. That's all we're going to do here. Because I just want to get a couple kills under my belt just to say, like, Okay, I got this shit. If we need to farm, we've got... If I ever wanted to farm swollen grapes, I know how to do it. Oh, wait, except it's gone. It's a one-time kill? Oh my gosh, these don't respawn. The winter lanterns do not respawn. Oh, well that is really fascinating, because now, I mean, you give me that kind of information, and now I do want to. Now I am gonna get a little bloodthirsty, because if it's a perma kill, oh shit, oh shit, that they are not coming back. Now I am gonna take the time to figure out where the heck these things are. I could have sworn there were some that were in the upper left part of the map, but maybe that was just a bunch of rats up here. And forgot about you. I didn't forget about you. I just momentarily missed that you were coming to get me. It is, though, the unfortunate thing about this region is just, I can't ride Torrent, man, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad that I gotta schlep it around like it's Dark Souls. I didn't realize there were so many Inquisitors out here. This is a good testing ground for our wave of gold that just keeps going. It just keeps... Wait, how did it not hit you? Oh, maybe it doesn't have as much range as I thought. Maybe that's what they nerfed. Maybe they nerfed the range of the... Are you serious? There are items right here? Wait, what the fuck? There's an entire section of the woods right here that I just never went to. What? Is that because... I never picked up... I'm sure this is super important. Ah, Smithing Stone 7. Yes. How? Actually, this one's purple. This one's purple, guys. This could be good. This could be a cookbook. Oh, it's a Shadow Tree fragment. Dude, do we actually get to level up our Shadow Tree level? We might get one more. Was that the final Shadow Tree fragment? What? How did I miss this spot? Oh my god, this was right here. Okay, well, now... I definitely, I have to admit that the Abyssal Woods, it was, I'm so glad that we finally did discover it. I'm sure there were some of you in the audience that were a little worried as we were making our way through Anir Alim. A little bit worried that a certain section of the game, a certain section of the DLC was not going to be uncovered. Admit it, y'all. Some of you weren't too sure. We got there. We got there. But I will admit, yeah, this area wasn't necessarily my favorite, but it really had nothing to do with Winter Lanterns. It just had to do with the fact that this area really felt like, I just kept thinking back to Lost Izalith and knowing that, you know, that was a section of Dark Souls 1 that they just didn't finish. I think they've straight up admitted that it was just one of those they had to say, you know what? Yeah, we're not going to get it on time. Ship it. It is what it is. We're rolling with it. And knowing that that is one of those... Sometimes you got to ship a game, you know? Release dates... well, in the case of some games, release dates are definitely a thing that have to happen. In the case of Silksong, maybe not so much, but that's another story. But you know, the what am I trying to say? The pressures, the time constraints, the considerations of real life and business, and these sorts of things. Oh, there is a Winter Lantern over here. I see one. Okay, these are, you know. You don't always get to do everything as perfectly as you would like. It's just the way things are. And so that may have been the case with this section of the map. It might have been this way. The Abyssal Woods might not have gotten the full TLC that they deserved. Maybe, maybe. I don't know. We may never know. May never know for sure. I'm not going to be able to take two of you. I see the other one frenzied me from a distance. Okay. That was my only, as soon as I missed the parry on the first one, I was like, yeah, that, and I noticed the other one aggroed. That was not a situation that we were going to be getting out of. Fortunately, there is a Stake of America here. Fortunately, we get to respawn. It's so wild to me, though. There was an entire little cubby hole of the map that I completely missed. But also at the same time, it's not that surprising because, like I said, it's not my favorite part of the game. It's not my favorite part of the game, and so I did not explore Ness with the same tenacity that I might normally. I just didn't. Oh, no, they both came! No, I panicked because they both showed up. Why did I think they both wouldn't show up when I rang that bell? For some reason, I was thinking that only the one that was closer would show up. Man, two of these... Okay, so don't ring the bell. Because that gets... Who knows, maybe I could have parried both of them. They did both attack at almost the exact same time. And that might have been a strat. You know, we could try that here. We could try parrying them both. You think that'll work, guys? It's just kind of annoying to wait for them to aggro to me, because if I just sit here and wait for him, her, them, this asshole to just actually see me and start to aggro, then isn't there a good chance that they're just going to use their long distance frenzy move? Yeah, this thing. Oh! Huh. Shit. Okay, so they teleport to me after that. I see. All right. This is not... Okay. All right, well that... I just need to get the parry timing still. Wait, what? Okay, it's fine. No! Hold on. Try it again. Try it again. I'm still so freaking early. So it's like I need to wait until... I think I need to wait until I see them lift the staff. Wait until... Like, let's try to make that the point at which I parry. The parry trigger is when they lift the staff. That might still be too early, but let's try to focus in on that. I'm getting distracted by so many other things that are going on. I don't know that I'm going to take the... I don't know that this is going to be worth the time or effort to do all this, but now that I know... Wait, I did not mean to pull out my telescope. Now that I know that it's a permanent... You know, they despawn permanently. When you give me that information, then I have the desire. I have the desire to actually... Okay, here's another thing I'm going to do. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit more of we can give ourselves additional, because right now I don't need the extra farming. You know, this stuff is not doing me. These farming talismans are not helping me. Why don't we give ourselves more? Is it focus? Whatever we did against Midra, the one that gives us a whole bunch more sleep and madness. That's the one. Clarifying horn charm. Let's give that. Let's get that sucker in there, and let's also do more HP. Let's see if that gives us. Just give us the same effect that we would have by putting on a, you know, a rune. But I don't want to spend rune arcs for this. And then I don't think there's anything we can do to increase our parrying ability, is there? I don't think there's anything that increases like the parrying window. But I also feel like maybe there is. And I've just forgot what the talisman is. But these are all talismans that increase iframes and whatnot. So I guess we can just give ourselves even more focus with the modeled necklace. Just boost focus to full, and then yeah. Then, yeah. We go again. Just attract your attention, get you out here. So, I think I was just late. That extra HP definitely helped. We at least didn't get madness that time, so there we go. I just want to get at least one more of these things down. And there's a timing to be discovered. There's a timing to be had. Why is my sword swing not getting your attention? There it is. There it is. That's it. I was right. The timing. They do drop swollen grapes. Holy shit. The timing. I was late. Fuck. Unhand me. Unhand me, you fiend. Okay, all right, there we go. There we go. Finally, we're getting it. I think we're getting it. I think we're getting it, folks. This is it. These are not worth, these winter lanterns are not worth a lot of runes. So no need to have your gold pickled foul feet out for these suckers. But they give you those swollen grapes. If you were so concerned about making sure that you were fully stocked up on your swollen grapes. Anybody else nearby? Wait, does that give me frenzy? No, my madness. I thought my madness meter went up. That does not trigger frenzy, just sounding the bell. Okay, all right. That feels pretty nice, I gotta say. Now, I think I'm finally seeing. You just have to expose yourself enough to the enemies. You have to just get those reps, and eventually your mind starts to settle down. Even though I think the Bloodborne Winter Lanterns are far more fear-inducing, these are not exactly the most calming enemy ever. So you still have to get at least a little bit of familiarity so that that little bit of panic that is there is... that panic starts to dissipate after just getting those reps in. And then I want to say that the other spot... I think this was the other spot that there were lanterns. We've got the Stake of America, and now it's starting to get foggy. This was the other spot here along the southern edge, right? We're kind of coming in from the reverse direction that we did before. But I'm pretty sure there's one in here somewhere. Hi. Hi. Too late that time. Just when I thought I was getting the timing. Just when I thought. No, too early. Shit. Come on, one more time. I'm again, now I'm feeling like I've got it, and so I'm going way too early. Way too freaking early. Is this gonna be triple chug? I got triple chug here. I'm once again, I'm Just when you think you've got it. Oh, okay, it's fine. Nope. You spend... part of the problem is that I took a break. So you get out of that flow. You lose the flow. I'm also going to probably lose those 10k runes because I think this stake puts me on the other side. Because now we're quite a ways away. And there's at least one. I think I want to say there's 2 winter lanterns here. There was definitely one that we rushed right up against. Like, I'm going down the middle this time, which is what we did not do the first time. I was much more cautious. I didn't even hit the right button there. I missed hitting the trigger altogether. Why am I not double chugging? I'm gonna make an excuse for myself. Because I love doing those. I love making excuses for when things go wrong. The excuse in this case is that I have a new controller. I picked up a new controller that is, it's more of an Xbox style controller, since I am playing on PC. It kind of expects you to have like an Xbox style controller with all the button prompts and everything like that. I had a lot of fun with the PS4 controller that I kind of carried over from playing Bloodborne. But I could kind of tell that thing was dying out. And because there were a lot of button presses that were not getting registered when they should have been. So, you know, it was time for a new one. So I picked up a new controller. And because, you know, I have a new controller now, that means I am getting used to where the new buttons are, or where the buttons are on this thing. They're not new buttons, but the trigger and bumper buttons are in slightly different places to what I'm used to. That's my excuse for that first the first death at the hands of this lantern. That death right there was more of just I sort of was expecting them to back off. It seemed like they had this pattern of, you know, once they grab you, they back off and give you time to, you know, drink. That didn't happen in this case. Finally, oh my god. You just gotta feel the flow. That rhythm that, you know, I haven't been doing all of Elden Ring, and I kind of let go of doing parrying after I had so much fun with it in Bloodborne, and then DS3 kind of like put me off of it for various reasons, and I just hadn't been doing it in Elden Ring at all. But there is that timing that you have. There's a rhythm and almost like a sixth sense, if you will, that you start to develop as to, was it just that one? Was it just that one? Have we actually done it? Have we cleared the Abyssal Woods of the Winter Lanterns? I think maybe we have. But you know, that just sort of, that sixth sense or rhythmic attunement that you get when you're finally getting used to parrying a particular enemy. And maybe I'm finally there with at least one enemy in Elden Ring. Of all the freaking enemies that I think I just turned myself around. No, I'm going the right direction. It's just that one lantern. They brought back winter lanterns for Elden Ring. What the fuck? But then they made it so you could parry them. I don't remember being able to... No, you could parry them in Bloodborne. That's true. There were various attacks that you could parry in Bloodborne, but I never got very good at doing that. Necessarily. But you could definitely parry them. And when you did parry them in Bloodborne, it was so satisfying. Oh, there is another section here. There is another section with more of them. I mean, I'm in it now, guys. I'm in for the whole shebang. If we're doing this, we're going all the way. Because if I've made it to this point, then I might as well clear them all out. I might as well do it all. Too early, fuck. Damn it. Ah, too early again. This is a tough one. This is a tough one to get down. It's a tough one because you get anxious. You just get anxious, you know? I'm still early. Shit. All that nonsense that I was talking about. Oh, I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling the rhythm. What the fuck? Wait, what? Okay, well, I'll just do this. No! Let me go! No! Okay, I thought you grabbed me again. I thought that I'd gotten grabbed a second time. I don't have my my trickle heal here, but I do have the ability to cast minor urgery by drinking my flask of wondrous quiver. So I'm gonna do that because I kind of need the health charge up here. So we're gonna get that rolling. Because I see at least one more winter lantern here. I thought we had cleared out the last one, but I forgot there was another batch of them down here. So many of these motherfuckers that I now, of course, the completionist in me must be rid of them all. I also want to keep an eye out for these things, the winter lantern flies, which I know there's probably a bunch of those still around these woods to collect. If I've just missed entire item pickups in corners of the map, who knows how many winter lantern flies there are to be collected. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Patience. Staying calm. Keep calm. Whoa! We just got a new talisman. Is that because we cleared them all out? Aged One's Exaltation? Madness in the vicinity increases attack power. So they might not be... I mean, there's a winter lantern fly. These are winter lanterns. But they're also kind of referred to as aged ones, because I think that's what the note said, wasn't it? The note had this thing about the aging untouchable. We have... I was not expecting to get a frickin' talisman depicting the exaltation of the aging untouchable, whose head resembles a sprig of ripe grapes. Oh, Hyetta. Oh, Hyetta, if only you knew the full extent of the madness. Raises attack power when madness is triggered in the vicinity. Gift your madness to our Lord. Bless our brethren with grapes. Take care that they fully ripen. What the fuck? Oh, the Lord of Chaos has now... The fullness of the Lord of Chaos run. It's now reached its apex. And I can see now why some of you in the comments were saying, you know, maybe you should try... Those lanterns could actually be parried. You know, maybe it might be useful to actually go back and fucking take them out. Because, you know, fuck Winter Lanterns. Ooh, Winter Lantern fly. Let's go. Fuck Winter Lanterns, but also there is a very notable talisman that goes right along with the Lord of Chaos's aesthetic. So there we go. Aged One's Exaltation. For a second, I thought it was an emote. I thought they had given us a new emote to to add to our arsenal. An aged one's exaltation, which felt like it would be very similar to Erudition Light the Way. Really, the most accurate feeling that goes along with this DLC, the most apropos. That's kind of my feeling the entire time, facing off against how many different dancing lions and divine beast horned warriors and winter lanterns, and what an amazing ride this DLC has been. I think the one last thing on my list, there is one last thing that I wanted to do, because I was informed that the Sword of Dark, Sword of Light, Sword of Dark, I guess we gotta go to the ruins, the castle watering hole to get back to the ruins of Unt. Unter must Unt. Oh, that's Midra's Manse there. Dude, I just now noticed for the first time that's showing Midra's Manse, because I saw all the dildo heads at the bottom. I never noticed that before, guys. What the fuck? It's Midra's Manse. Boy, Midra's Manse actually gets two loading screens. It gets the exterior and the interior with that sus wall painting. That's kind of, they're showing some love to the Lord of Chaos and the Madness. I've been told that this Altar of Dark is actually something that can be done in you can go both ways, and it's not a one-time thing. So this Sword of Light, Sword of Dark can be switched back and forth as you see fit, provided you have access to the DLC, of course. Can I find this Sword of Light? Once again, before we do this transformation, let me just remind myself here. Sword of Light, scales with faith, does holy damage. That all makes sense. I would imagine if it's gonna be a Sword of Dark, would it not be like scaling with both? Would it not scale with both intellect and faith? Would be my guess. But let's try this out and just see what the Sword of Darkness is all about. Does it just put it at the top if you sort by order of acquisition? It does. But it still scales with faith. Interesting. It doesn't change its scaling or the fact that it does holy damage, but it does change the ability to darkness. Duh. Sword of Darkness, pulled from its stone scabbard at an altar. From the quick of the root, wandering coils of darkness coalesce and release their eddies and vortices, giving form to the dark blade. Unique skill, Darkness. Raise the sword aloft and cleave surrounding with darkness. Deals holy damage and temporarily reduces holy damage negation. I did not read what the effect of... I don't remember immediately what that effect of the Sword of Light was. The equivalent... What the light skill did. We can try that out here. Nope. Not like that. Because I have a parry that I have to actually two-hand stuff for now. Oh! Dude, that looks awesome. That looks... Honestly, that looks way cooler than the Sword of Light ability. Oh! Dude, I love that animation. The vortices. Look at those. The swirling vortices are so sick. Oh, it's just like this... What is it making me think of? I think it's got to be something from Elden Ring that's coming to mind, but I can't quite... I might also be thinking of, like... I might be thinking of the one boss from DS3, and I'm just having a mental blank. It's the boss at the end of... The one who ate Gwendolyn. What's his fucking name? Aldrich? Aldrich, yeah. Like, it kind of has, like, the Aldrich, like, the dark, oozy, the way that vibe or aesthetic in Dark Souls 3 is shown. Like, they don't call it dark necessarily, but it's like the deep, right? The deep magic. That's what it kind of makes me think of. That's very cool. Dude, I think I would rather stick with that sword anyways. I don't know if I'm ever going to use this because, at least in New Game Plus, because we're going to be switching gears at some point here. We're going to be switching gears to a sorcery build and having some fun with that. But, that's a cool sword. There are so many cool things in Elden Ring, guys. It's just, there's just too many of them to try. You're never going to get through all of them. Okay, I've had a thought regarding, the whole Bonnie / Shaman Village situation. Why don't we go to the back gate at the Shadow Keep here, the Oh Mother statue? I'm wondering if maybe I've just been overlooking the mistake maybe I've been making with Shaman Bonnie Village has been focusing on these. I've been so, I'm so guilty of hyper-focus and drilling down into these small, minute details, trying to figure out, you know, on the tooth whip, this language about shamans melding harmoniously, their flesh melding harmoniously with others, and trying to figure out, okay, so then there's the other ingredients for the pot innards, and like, what purpose could they all serve exactly? And what if the bigger question, what if it's more important to zoom out and just ask, how is America involved? Maybe that's the part that I've just been completely overlooking or not even discussing at all. Had it even occurred to me, I'm not even sure. I feel like maybe I had just taken it for granted in my mind. Like, oh yeah, like there's something going on with, this is America's home. And we have this message, have mercy for the spirited away shamans. We also have the potentate, the Greater Potentate mask, the caterpillar mask, talking about used as the ritual implement of the Greater Potentates, vulnerable, other wickednesses one is vulnerable to while absorbed in divine ritual. The divine ritual being stuffing shamans into pots. So the shamans were spirited away, right? The shamans were taken from Shaman Village. And then they were presumably taken to the jails, right? Whether it's Bellarat jail or whether it is Bonnie jail. Theoretically, all of these jails could have been just waiting areas for the shamans to be taken eventually to Bonnie Village and stuffed in some jars. And so the question, one of the questions is, who was doing that? If the Greater Potentates are wearing these caterpillar masks, does that mean that the Horn Scent in general are the ones who are responsible for spiriting away the shamans? Seems like that would make sense. And I think that if we ask about how is America involved, well, America, I mean, I suppose there's a world, it feels this, there's a couple possibilities here, maybe. It feels like the less likely scenario is that America somehow was overseeing that somehow she had a hand in spiriting away the shamans from her own home. Maybe against her will. You know, we've theorized before that she's just basically a puppet of the greater will and or the Elden beast, and maybe somehow, if indeed it is true that the shamans being stuffed into jars, those jars are then taken away to these minor Erd trees across the lands between and used as fuel or used as part of the ritual in growing these minor Erd trees. But then at the same time, there's why exactly is the minor Erd tree spell that we get here in Shaman Village, why does that talk about America? Let me see if I can find it here. Why does it mention that Marika bathed the village of her home in gold, knowing full well that there is no one to heal? Did she know that full well because she had helped spirit away the shamans? That could be possible, I suppose, but I feel like it's more likely that it was not with, it was against her will, or she didn't even know that it was happening. That the horn scent, unclear why they would do this, but the horn scent on their own, of their own volition, spirited away those shamans and stuffed them into jars because that was their sacred ritual to raise them to nigh sainthood, as the spirit in Bonnie Village says. Let's actually head back here one more time. What was the thought I was going to finish? If that was done against Marika's will or without her knowledge, and all of a sudden she came back to her home at some point, or she realized that the shamans had been spirited away, then maybe that was the whole impetus for her sending Mesmer on his crusade. I don't remember exactly what item we had. Was it the shield? Well, there was a shield that told us about Marika's, the fact that she is Mesmer's mother. But I feel like there was a shield that we got. Was it the Serpent Crest shield? Said to have been made to commemorate the beginnings of the crusade started by Mesmer, son of Marika. This crusade against the Hornsent, correct? Like the Hornsent and their settlement here at the base of Anir Elim, Bellarat. Like this is one of their sacred places, or the sacred place, the sacred tower of the Hornsent. I'm not too sure on all the details of their mythos or their religious inclinations, but the Hornsent, somehow they wanted to stuff shamans into jars. And if that was done, if all of a sudden Marika found out about that and was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Hey, Mesmer, Mesmer, I want you to go and fuck up some Hornsent. I want you to just start a crusade and, rain down fire upon all of them. That would kind of make sense, wouldn't it? And maybe that's all that, you all were trying to get me to realize, to point me in the direction. I did, by the way, confirm with one of my advisors that there is no missing item. I haven't missed an item here in Shaman Village. My hyper-focus tunnel vision was leading me to think that it was about some like small item that I had missed. But I'm thinking that maybe it was more about we just need to back out and look at things from a more bird's eye view and just consider, how is Marika, like, she's maybe the most important character to the whole lore of Elden Ring. She's involved in everything. How is she involved in this situation? So I think that's going to be the extent of my thoughts on this subject. I don't think I have anywhere else to go with that. I'm curious to know what you all think. We're at a point now where I'd like to hear what, especially if there's no like accepted wisdom or agreed upon theory that everybody says is what's happening. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to, if there's additional clues or items or places in the world that I should examine, feel free to point me in that direction. We're at that stage now. But yeah, I think that's the additional thought that I had. I took an extended break. I'm recording this now on a different day from where we started, and sometimes fresh brain OP, as I like to say, and in this case I had a little bit of a, how does Marika factor into this? What if we discuss that for a bit? And so we have, as we like to do here. I think in that case, the only bit of remaining business that we have in the DLC is to utilize this last boss soul or remembrance duplication. I've used all of the mausoleums off camera. I have gone through all of the mausoleums that were yet to be used in the Lands Between. And I've also used both of the boss soul duplication, the one up here. I went ahead and utilized that already, along with, I think we had actually used the one that was in the finger runes, right? We had done that on camera. So I basically, what weapons did I actually I'm not sure if they're still here in my... Oh, we were looking at them earlier, right? I did some of the... Because we're going to be doing a sorcery, we're going to start looking at sorcery options here. I did duplicate stuff like Rykard's boss soul to get his Rykard's rancor. And I also picked up the Vortex of Putrescence just to say that we've got all of the sorceries. I don't know if we're going to be utilizing all of these. I did also pick up Rolana's Twin Moons, and I think I did duplicate her boss soul. We just need to turn in or cash in the second option at the Finger Raider. So let's go ahead and duplicate. I think the soul that I'm going to duplicate here at behind Manus Metter, it seemed fitting that the boss soul that we would duplicate would be, well, Metter herself. The Mother of Fingers. Who else? Who else would... You can't duplicate anyone else but Metter behind Manus Metter, right? That this dragonfly, I swear to God, I knew it. I knew this fucking dragonfly. This... why is it always the dragonflies, guys, that just... They refuse to chill. Even to this day. He's still coming. He's still coming. Get out of here. Dork, out of my game. I wish I could say out of my game permanently to all these dragonflies. But let's, before we do this boss soul duplication, let me remind myself another detail here. The remembrance of the Mother of Fingers. Metter. The power of the mother of all two fingers and finger creepers was in turn a magnificently gleaming daughter of the Greater Will, and the first shooting star to fall upon the lands between. We've read this before, and it still is quite a that is a massive paragraph or sentence even. The first shooting star to fall upon the lands between. I don't have the I'm down to just, I've turned in, I've done all the boss souls basically except for these 3 that are remaining here. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Omen King at some point here. So I don't have the other boss souls in the menu here to review their lore. Like the Elden Beast is the one that comes to mind. And this is one I have not spent any time thinking about the connection between Metter and the Elden Beast, if there is any. Maybe there is none. But the Mother of all two fingers, a magnificently gleaming daughter of the Greater Will. So the Elden Remembrance also talks about the Greater Will, of course. It says that the beast, the Elden Beast, was the vassal beast of the Greater Will, and living incarnation of the concept of order. The vassal beast, similar to how Sirash was the vassal beast of Godfrey / Horolo. Is that correct? The vassal beast. What does it mean to be a what does it mean to be a vassal beast? If I go to the definition of vassal, it's a subordinate, a slave, a person who held land from a feudal lord and received protection in return for homage and allegiance. So a vassal beast, the vassal beast of the Greater Will. It's so interesting because Marika was the vassal of the Elden Ring, the Elden Beast, correct? It took up residence within her. And so even though she shattered the Elden Ring, and they had to punish her for that, they had to lock her inside of the Erd Tree and shackle her in there with one of those rune arc things. One of those rune arc things. It looks like a rune arc. It certainly looks like a rune arc, but maybe it was part of the Elden Ring that was used to shackle her there. Whatever that arc that she's hung on, almost like a cross, she still housed the Elden Beast, right? The Elden Beast is inside of her. And so they couldn't, like, you couldn't off her. You couldn't say, well, oh, you broke the Elden Ring. We're going to throw you out of here. Out of my game. Out of my game. Out of the lands between. You can't do that with Marika because she's the vassal. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this thought here, but I wanted to think a little bit about the Mother of Fingers and how she is related to the Elden Beast and the overall story. The fact that she's the first shooting star and this gleaming daughter of the Greater Will. The fingers, the two fingers, the finger creepers, these were all here before the Elden Beast. The Elden Beast fell to the Lands Between later on. And so maybe it wasn't the Elden Beast that was the big origin story moment for everything. Maybe it was for the Erd Tree. Perhaps the Erd Tree was birthed as a result of the Elden Beast falling to the Lands Between, but the Mother of Fingers, there were all these other... But in one way or another, they all tie back to the Greater Will, right? What the heck is the Greater Will? Who the hell knows? But there's this, this omnipresent force in the universe known as the Greater Will that somehow, as these creatures, these crazy fucking absurd finger creatures and Elden Beasts, that, it really should have a better handle on these things and not let them just go falling onto random planets. Come on, Greater Will, pull it together for fuck's sake. Oh, we could have gone here. We could have gone... I didn't realize we could have read it here in the menu. Duh. We can go to all the boss souls here. Oh, shit. So, I forgot about... since we're looking at all the boss souls now, I will briefly mention the other thing that people have kind of wanted me to review at some point is the cutscene for Godfrey, the boss fight at the end of the game. And because there is a moment there between Godfrey and the Omen King, Morgott, where he's holding Morgott. And I don't remember exactly what he says. This is why we should review it. But he says something along the lines of, "It's been a long time." Does he say, "It's been a long time, brother"? I think, though, that is going to be something that we have for New Game Plus. This is a perfect example of something that we can review that moment when we get to it in New Game Plus. Yes, it'll be a little ways down the road. You'll have to be patient with me as I get to that point, since it is at the end of the game. But it's one of these moments that is going to be a lot of fun to look at for a second time eventually. But while we're here at the what are these things called? It's not a mausoleum, but it's the boss soul duplicator behind Manus Metter. And so what we want to do is we want to duplicate Metter's remembrance, because there are two options from this. There are two options from this that are actually going to be, I think, potentially used by us. I guess this is where we can start to talk about the build that we want to do. What are we going to do? What are we going to do for our build? Because I've been hinting at the fact that we're going to be doing some sorceries. I think, let's go ahead and do our boss soul stuff here. Let's trade in. We've got the Staff of the Great Beyond. There have been, one recommendation was, from the comments, was to maybe check out a Hex build at some point. I am interested in doing a Hex build. I've actually been interested in doing a Hex build since like Dark Souls 2. I've just never gotten around to it. In none of these games have I actually done a Hex build yet. One of these days, I don't know, maybe Elden Ring will finally be the one. But apparently this this Staff of the Great Beyond is a pretty nice option if you are going into not just the Hex direction, but just being able to cast all the things. Like if you're kind of doing an intelligence faith hybrid build, this staff here casts both sorceries and incantations. So you just literally get to cast everything and not worry about switching between seals and staffs and whatnot. So that could be fun to have. So we definitely want to trade that option in here. And then this Gazing Finger, well, I don't know. It's a giant finger that you can go ahead, run around and whack people with. So I don't know, maybe that could be fun too. We'll see exactly, but I don't think it's probably not going to be something that I've had just too many fingers, guys. It's just finger overload. A man can only This is definitely a thing that people say to themselves. A man can only deal with so many fingers before, you know, enough is enough. Rolana's Twin Blades is another option for the, apparently a good option for the Intelligence Faith hybrid build. And it does look like that is the case. It looks like it actually scales with everything. If you were just going like quality hex build, all of these attributes scale these weapons. And of course they are, it's the moon and fire stance. And I do want to try that at some point. The last thing we're gonna pick up here, I think, is the Regal Omen Baron, just because it also has this potential to do Int Faith. The Int Faith hybrid, the Morgoth's Curse Sword, is more of an arcane focused build, it looks like, which I don't want to do just yet, eventually. But I think for now I'm going to pick up this Regal Omen Baron. It's also, there also is maybe some potential interesting lore to review on this one. What did this talk about again? The Doll of a Curseborn Baron from the Erd Tree's royal line. A Curseborn Baron from the Erd Tree's royal line. Morgoth has to be related in some way to... It would make a lot of sense that he would be related to Godfrey and the Golden lineage in some respect. I don't know if they're actually just brothers. Don't tell me just yet. Maybe it's not known. I don't even know. But these Omen babies born of royalty do not have their horns excised, but instead are kept underground, unbeknownst to anyone, imprisoned for eternity. I suspect that this is what happened with Morgoth. Why else would this be one of the options that you could get from his boss soul? Now, we're picking up these options. We're picking up these things that could be used for an Int Faith hybrid build, but that's not what we are going to be focusing on. What we are going to be focusing on is a much more strictly sorcery-focused build, and in particular, cold sorceries. I have, there are a few different sorceries here, like Rani's Dark Moon. Incarnate a cold dark moon and launch it at foes. There's also Adula's Moonblade. Conjure a cold magic greatsword. And of course, the cornerstone weapon that I did use for basically the entirety of Dark Souls 2, and then once I picked it up in the DLC in Bloodborne. Let me see if I can find it here, because these weapons are not sorted. They need to be sorted like this, so that I can more easily, hopefully visually, pick out. There it is, the Dark Moon Greatsword. This is the weapon that I haven't done it in every single game of the FromSoft series, but I've done it in a couple of them, and it's been calling to me. I have been thinking in the back of my mind, at some point, I want to do the Moonlight Greatsword in Elden Ring. And the fact that it causes frost buildup, and it lets us explore not just a sorcery build, but also this applying frostbite. I kind of like the idea of this. Let's play into cold sorceries and try to get that going. So what we're gonna do here, let's go ahead and start to get that set up. Let's go ahead and get that set up by... It feels a little strange to start putting sorceries. We've had the faith build and the incantations this whole time, and there's part of me that's like, oh no, we're losing incantations. But this is the thing, is we have so many larval tiers, I could go straight back to incantations if I wanted to. And the way that we're going to spec this, we might still be able to cast a bunch of incantations anyway. So this is fine. This is fine. We're just trying something new. It's just, you know, we've had so much time being the Lord of Chaos and living this frenzied flame, not just frenzied flame, it's just one of those aspects of the faith build, but there's been so many fun, you know, dragon communion and fire and black flame and lightning. Faith build is awesome. I think it's always going to be my favorite. But it's time to try something new. Let's do Rani's Dark Moon. That's one. I've had a few spells recommended to me here to get us started, but if you all have ideas, of course, and some of the spells that are your favorite. Feel free to share what you like. And we're at that stage of the game. I'm interested to hear your input. Give me some ideas. Give me some fun things to try, because I think it's a lot. If we're gonna do this New Game Plus right, having you all playing along with me, I think is gonna make it way more fun. Do I also want to do things like Freezing Mist? I'm not sure yet. Maybe we'll throw that on later. But the other spells, I might need to check my notes here to remember them all. But one of them, there were a few that were suggested, including Comet Azure. This takes 3 slots. Holy shit. Comet Azure. That's one we'll put in there. Curious to see how that... Oh yeah, Loretta's Great Bow was mentioned as well. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to want to sort these. But for now, we'll just kind of throw these in there, and we'll worry about sorting them later. There were a couple from the DLC. Bleeding Microcosm is one that I want to try. And also Impenetrable Thorns, apparently. And we do need some faith for that. So there are a number of sorceries that do require faith, and I think we want to get at least 26 faith. I think if I checked things correctly, that is going to be the minimum that we need to do basically any of the spells. Any of the sorceries, I should say. 26 faith is the maximum, and it's Vortex of Putrescence that requires 26. And then there are a couple of the bubble spells. The bubble sorceries require Arcane. And that was the only thing I was debating, is do I want to actually invest in Arcane to do bubble spells? I think I'm probably not going to worry about that. But if we have points, we're at level 230, we might have the points to spend. We'll see. We shall see. What was the last one that I wanted to throw into the memory slots here? Actually, I double-checked my notes, and those were all of them. At least the suggestions that I received from the comments. So then I guess we have a free slot. Why don't we throw in this Gavel of Haima? This one has always seemed pretty fun to me. So, or maybe I'll switch it out. I don't know. If we're really leaning into the cold sorcery business, then maybe I want to do something like the Zamor Ice Storm or something. I don't know. Or the Glintstone, like one of these cheaper spells, like the Ice Crag. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll switch things around, and I'll be experimenting with some things. But then, when it comes to the casting of those spells, what I did upgrade here. Let's see if I can find it. What I did upgrade to at least a +9. Not the Astrologer's Staff. There is a staff. I think it's Renala's staff. Supposedly, Renala's... Maybe I shouldn't sort it like... I should go back to probably item type here. Apparently, it's Renala's staff. That is the one that you want to be using if you are at the intelligence soft cap. And I think that's what we're going to aim for here. This one. Carrion Regal Scepter, right? It also has the side effect of boosting full moon sorcery. So there we go. So we've got the Carrion Regal Scepter. And then, oh, it's right next to the Sacred Relic Sword. Look at that. Dark Moon Greatsword time. Let's go. The other weapon that I did upgrade, because if we're doing this, the cold moon vibe, if we're living that life, then I had to upgrade Moonveil. You know I had to do that, right? Because this is another one that we got so far back. Didn't we get it from like a magma worm in out in Limgrave or Caelid or something? We've had this Moonveil forever, and I've always wanted to do something with this because it takes us back to our samurai roots, but it also lets us live the Rani moon life, I guess. It's not just Ronnie that lives the moon life. Oh, look at that thing. Look at that thing. Now we need to adjust the fashion souls here as well. So let's figure out what we're doing with fashion souls. I think the main thing I want to add, or the main thing that I want to wear, is the Snow Witch hat. I think I want it. It doesn't exactly, you know. well, no, this is working perfectly as intended because we all love it when our big-ass sword goes straight through our big-ass hat, right? That's just classic Elden Ring and Dark Souls. So there we go. The Lord of Chaos Eyes don't match super well with this, but this boosts cold sorcery. That's the thing I want to do here. It's the Ronnie hat, and it boosts cold sorcery. It's I think the only thing that boosts cold sorcery, as so far as I know. Feel free to correct me on that. So then, what else are we gonna wear? I don't think I'm gonna wear the full Snow Witch outfit, but we need something that goes a little bit more, that meshes a little bit better with this. Probably not the Horn Scent outfit. I don't know if we want to go full. We don't want to go full. Well, it's not terrible. Just the straight up astrologer starter's outfit. Battle mage. Like we could do something that's like actually sorcerer related. Roger's outfit. We could do something. Ooh, like the Lusat, the big old. I don't know these. We could see what the Snow Witch outfit looks like. Like, it's not terrible, you know? I just don't know that I want to... I don't feel like I can fully... I'm trying to jump here in the menu. I don't think I can fully live up to... Ronnie has her look. And we might be wearing her hat, but I don't know if we can fully borrow her outfit and feel like... We're Ronnie's consort. But, you know, those privileges only extend so far. If you know what I mean. Oh, wow, that... that really shows off our charred arms and shoulders, doesn't it? What are we gonna do here? It is it's like a hat that just kind of takes up the whole picture, right? The hat overshadows everything else, and so it's really hard to get. It's really tough to get a the rest of your outfit to not overshadow or clash with it. Like, I want something that feels, you know, spellcaster. Oh, this is actually kind of nice. Something that feels sorcerer to me. I kind of like this one, actually. What if we go with that? And then we switch up the gloves to something a little more subtle. Oh, depending on what wrists you use. Oh yeah, the sleeves, right. Maybe we just go with like something like the wrist guards, just so the sleeves actually go all the way down. I kind of like that. And then the boots probably don't matter that much. Pointy shoes, there we go, perfect. Oh yeah, we could do Roger's. That's what we do, right? We get Roger's. Where are they at here? It should be at the top, shouldn't it? We need, there we go. Pointy shoes, of course, if we're doing Sorcerer Life. There we go. Are we doing it, guys? Are we doing it? It's just, wow, the Snow White hat. It just, I don't know. I guess it stands out. If you have it like this, then it stands out. Okay, we're gonna work on the Fashion Souls here. One thing that we have not visited, as we're having a little fun with Fashion Souls, one thing we have not visited in a very long time is this Altered Garments screen. I thought I might just take a peek at this, because we've picked up, I think, so many options. And we only had, like, at the start of the game, we just had, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 things that could even be altered. And now it looks like we've added a ton. So I'm wondering what these... Can you actually control... Does it let you see... I can see down there we get... we can adjust Albrecht's pointed hat to be more like, what, a skull cap? I don't think I would want to do that, but I was just wondering if I could get a bigger view of... there we go. That's kind of what I wanted. There it is. I just wanted to look at a more zoomed in view. Yeah, I don't like that one specifically. I just wanted to make sure I could get a zoomed in view of whatever I was looking at. So Egon's... Oh, it turns it into... Does it actually... It actually changes the description a little bit. Patched with scraps of cloth. Okay, that's kind of cool. This one just completely gets rid of all the stuff about the Confessor Hood and the teachings of the Two Fingers. It says now, cloth head wrap worn under a church confessor black hood. Such hoods are made for blending in with the darkness. Okay, so there's some interesting stuff here, potentially to revisit. in this alterations screen. I don't like this at all. The Jaren's hood looks so good this way, which is another reason why I had steered clear from this alterations screen, is that so many of the alterations feel like crap. Like the original version is just better in almost every case. But maybe I will take a minute here just to go through and see if there are any new little either lore tidbits or looks, specific fashion upgrades or downgrades that are interesting to me. Oh my god, what is this? No. No. You can actually add fingers to the finger robe. Too many fingers! I'm telling you guys. Too many fingers. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's a strict upgrade, obviously. I mean, I have to do that, right? I'm sort of required. The rules of recording Elden Ring for people on the internet require me to actually try this on for size. In fact, we're just going to do that right now because, yeah, as much as I hate it, I know you all want to see it. Can I sort? Oh, I see it right here. I see. Oh my god. Dude, there's fingers on the back as well. Are you dude? Oh my god. I mean, honestly, like, you know, like the color-wise, it sort of goes with the hat. It's not, you know, the most. Yeah. It kind of works. It kind of works in the worst possible way. I hate this. Why have I done this? Am I actually gonna do this? Oh boy, what else are they hiding in here? You could actually remove... Oh man, you could remove Corrin's, the shackles around the neck. Just get rid of them altogether. What? You're not allowed to do that. Boy, man, this is another, thing we're gonna have to do differently in New Game Plus, right? Is Bach. Our buddy Bach. We're gonna have to do not send him to Renala. Do not, above all else. Because there's so many fun things that he's missing out on. So many fun things that we could have him do. What is this changing? Oh, I guess it's not, it is taking away the mid-size cape and it's putting in, I don't know what it's called, but like well, it might say it in the leather satchel hanging from the shoulder is decorated with one of Miquella's emblems, a golden grass motif. Oh, that's new. Well, we should definitely check that out. We're having a little fun with Fashion Souls here. This is the kind of thing that, you know, it's fun to do every so often. This does not go with this hat at all, but I wanted to just check the Miquella's emblem here. It's Miquella's emblem, you say? Miquella's emblem. Is it supposed to be... I don't quite see how it's Miquella's emblem, because I guess what I'm thinking of is the... I'm thinking of the needle, right? Or not just the needle, but the bewitching branch as well. It was in key items, wasn't it? No, it's not in key items, it's in tools. Miquella's needle. This, okay, I guess it kind of is, it's got like the interwoven, sure, I'll take your word for it. It's one of Miquella's emblems. Okay, that's a cool variation there. By the way, this reminds me here, looking at the Black Knife armor, the assassins that carried out the deeds of the night of the Black Knives were all women, and rumored to be Newman, who had close ties with Marika herself. That's another angle that I had completely forgotten about. The fact that these assassins were supposedly, I don't know, related to Marika? But once again, that question, who exactly are the Newmen? And how closely related are they to the shamans? Are they one and the same? Distant relatives? Who knows? All right, that was fun getting to go through all of the various alterations that are available to us now. And if we hadn't done that, we would not have been able to discover this just more. You know, when you think about it, I was actually thinking about it a little bit here, and this actually maybe fits perfectly with what we're trying to do, because, you know, Ronnie, you know, she was diametrically opposed to anything fingers, right? She absolutely despised the two fingers and really had, you know, she took it all the way to Manus Celis and disposed of the two fingers that was associated with her. But when you think about it, if we're her consort, isn't it kind of fitting that we took out the mother of all fingers, and now we are essentially wearing those fingers as a trophy to signify our allegiance to Ronnie, and that we have finally laid waste and fully annihilated her enemies. I think it's perfect, actually, when you think about it. So that's what we're rolling with for now. And that's what we're gonna do, at least for the time being, until I get just sick of the sight of fingers, which could happen sooner than later. Let's go ahead. If we've got all these sorceries equipped, we actually need to be able to cast them. That's kind of the point here. So let's go to Rea Lucaria, the place where the moon sorcery really all got started, isn't it? Speaking of Bach, by the way, Bach, we've been fooling around with alterations. You're still here. I wish I had an Elden Ring blanket that I could throw over our poor buddy here. But, you know, New Game Plus is right around the corner. Soon enough, Bach will be back in action. Bach will be so back. It's time for us to respec, to use one of these larval tears that we've got a million of. And I think what we're gonna do, we obviously want to have enough. I think we need, in order to do the Dark Moon Greatsword, we need to do 16 strength. We're not going to do a strength intelligence build. Given the advice that has been proffered to me is that we actually want to be teching into dexterity in order to increase our spellcasting speed. I had kind of forgotten about this. I actually, in DS3, had started to kind of level both faith and dexterity because of spellcasting. And then I don't know exactly where the build went, but I didn't end up going full faith dexterity, I don't think. But it's been a while. But dexterity, increasing that spellcasting or decreasing the spellcasting speed. I don't want to do faith. I want to do some faith. But we were going to have some dexterity here. I think you want 40 plus Radagon's icon is what gets you to the spellcasting speed cap. And then if you wanted to go to dexterity 70, you could just get there on your own. But we're not going to go that far. We are going to rely on the Radagon icon to help us, to help get us there. And then the rest of, let's get everything else back to its soft caps, or at least endurance and vigor. We go back to 60, 50 vigor, endurance. And I think I keep the same amount of mind. Like, I think the soft cap for mind probably is a lot higher, but the logic for me is the fact that when we're at 34 mind and then we pop Radagon's rune, then we basically have enough to get full value out of my forever fixation on getting full value out of my cerulean flasks. This gets us there. And then any more than that kind of feels like a waste, unless we're using something like the Trickle Teal Talisman or something to get continuous FP replenishment. So maybe we'll invest more in mind down the road and use that, I think someone had called it Blessed Blue. But for now, we're going to stick with these three, vigor, mind, endurance, the levels that we've got. And that leaves us 5 more levels to do something with here. So that I think is where I'm just going to go ahead and invest the rest into intelligence, because the soft cap is supposed to be at 80, and we'll just shoot for 80 intelligence. It'll be full on sorcery, and then we'll start to fill in the blanks here with maybe some faith and arcane as we go. Like, I'm not in any sort of rush to do bubble sorceries, but at some point here, if we switch to the Metter's staff and we start bringing incantations and as well hexes back into the fold, then maybe we'll want some arcane to be able to just cast everything all at once. But I think this is a good starting point, and we've got larval tears to switch things up. Let me know what you all think, of course, if there's ways to tweak this, fine-tune exactly how this is built, then I'm open to suggestions, but we're going to lock things in there, I think. And that is going to allow us...
Thou art now a sweeting, full fine and fair. My thanks for being born of my beloved egg, time and time again.
Okay. Is that new dialogue for... It's been so long since we've done any sort of a respec at Renal. I don't remember if she just says that every time or not. Feel free to let me know or remind me. But, yeah, we are now ready. We got to at least do a little bit of experimentation here. I want to save... I think I want to save most of these spells for when we're actually out in the field. But we got to do at least... We got to do at least a little bit of having fun here with... Ronnie's Dark Moon. Let's activate the Moonlight Greatsword first of all. First off, we got to get this. Oh my goodness, there it is. I think we did this once before, didn't we? We got a little bit of a preview with the Dark Moon Greatsword, and look at how just awesome that looks. Like I said, I did do in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 was a very different experience. I did not really do a blind playthrough for Dark Souls 2. I had a lot of help. We decided to make things a little bit easier on me in DS2. And so I got some direction from my trusted advisors how to pick up the Dark Moon Greatsword much earlier on than you might otherwise, using bonfire aesthetics and whatnot. I'm noticing that this animation kind of goes through two different phases, doesn't it? It's got like a more intense... I don't know, it feels like there was a more colorful, or maybe it's just the fact that the camera is zoomed in. When I zoom in, some of the animation goes a little bit dormant or whatnot. But yeah, most of DS2 was a full-on sorcerer build using the Moonlight Greatsword and a whole bunch of other sorceries. And then we did also throw it into the mix in Bloodborne, so it's once we got to the DLC, and it's fun to get back. It's fun to get back to these roots. Of course, the main action here is being able to fire off that Moonblade with your strong attack. That doesn't even use FP. Oh, sweet. That's awesome. You don't have to use FP. You also don't have to charge it. It's just any strong attack once you've imbued the sword. I love that. I love that. It says charged attacks release blasts of moonlight, but it's just strong attacks, I think. It's just the regular old strong attacks. That is so sweet. Maybe they're a little stronger if you charge them. Okay, so we've got the great sword, which we can two-hand if we so choose, but then having the staff in the other hand lets us cast sorceries like Ronnie's Dark Moon. Oh, what? Oh, that's what it does. Oh my god. For some reason, I thought that this was going to be similar to what we had in Relana's fight. I think, didn't her, we have her spell that we could equip. Maybe we'll do that as well. There's going to be so many fun sorceries to finally be able to try here. I did not realize we kind of like, we ball up into the moon and then fire it off. What? Dude, that is so cool. And it goes all the way across. That range. Oh my god. Oh, I love that. Oh, we've got to find an enemy to try this out on. Oh my goodness. I think we're set. We've got all our stuff leveled. We've got spells equipped. We've got our fashion souls. We are ready to rock. I don't know about talismans. That's the only thing we haven't fiddled with here. Let me know what y'all think in terms of talisman. talismans. I'm very open to suggestions here. I'm going to put my greed... I haven't been able to use my greed scarab the whole game because I didn't find it until just a minute ago. So we're going to throw on the greed scarab because you can never have too many runes. And then we're going to equip, like I said, Radagon's icon. Radagon icon? The Radagon icon? You know what I'm saying. And then from there, it's kind of... There's you know, we could go with the standard, you know, recovering stamina. That's always good. We could, you know... Damage mitigation is also fine. We could boost sorceries, greatly raise the potency of sorceries. That's probably not a bad one. But maybe there's also... I do want to get my hands... I feel like there is a magic scorpion charm out there somewhere. But that might be something we have to get as part of New Game Plus. We'll figure that out eventually. The aged one says... What the hell? What the hell? I guess we'll just go with stamina regen for now. Or the cerulean, the crimson. Oh, you know, that's a reason to invest in mind. You could actually get more out of your cerulean flask. That would be a reason to actually invest in mind, is to use this thing. Okay, well, there's an idea. There's an idea maybe to go with more points in mind at some point down the road. For now, I'm gonna go stamina. Because you always need stamina, no matter if you're a spellcaster, if you're a big old wielder of flower power, no matter what your direction, you always need stamina. Okay, folks, I've got some good news and a little bit of bad news. The good news is that this sorcery build is a lot of fun. I've already been experimenting with a few of these spells and getting to play more with the Moonlight Greatsword. This sorcery build is going to be a blast. Also, I have managed to find one of the caves that I missed in the base game, the Cave of the Forlorn, which I knew was on my list of things to do and revisit here in the base game before we turn the page to New Game Plus. So I managed not just to find this Cave of the Forlorn, but also there was an entire little section of this consecrated snowfield that I had just never explored, and sure enough, there was a freaking magma worm back here. There was a magma worm that that has, I think, given us a new spell to get at the Church of Dragon Communion. So there are some fun things that have been happening here. The bad news, as maybe you might guess, is that my OBS crashed. So all that fun that I've been having for about the last half an hour or so is gone. So I didn't realize it until I looked over and realized that I looked over and saw that the OBS had crashed. It hasn't happened very often, but it has happened more than I would like. Unfortunately, you know, 120 plus episodes of Elden Ring. I guess there's gonna be some technical snafus here and there. I just I'm gonna look into things here to see if I can set this up a little bit better so that it actually like gives me an audio alert or something. It's just such a rare crash, and I don't even I need to figure it out one way or the other so that it doesn't happen again, because I don't want you guys to miss out on anything. Fortunately, you haven't missed a ton, but you know, you have missed just a little bit. The magma worm and me going through this Cave of the Forlorn and ending up here at another misbegotten boss, another misbegotten enemy. And I guess I had used the Black Knight Captain Hugh against the magma worm, but let's go ahead and switch this up to maybe let's bring in the Fire Knight, since we're in a more confined space here. Fire Knight Queeline, I had passed him up against the magma worm because I didn't want him standing in one place. So so we're gonna try the Fire Knight again here, and see if we can now that we know how Red Eye's summons actually work, maybe we can get that to go on our side. And I like I said, I've already used a few of these spells. Comet Azure was pretty cool against the magma worm. So I've used the microcosm as well. We're not getting necessarily my my very first time reactions here to some of these spells, but I am going to do my best to relive my first time reactions as we go through and try these again. We'll pretend. You're just going to pretend with me that this is all happening for the first time, and that's, you know, I'm not going to hear any other stories, as I will now be a little more conscious about checking my OBS. to make sure that it's recording here. Let's get into it. And let me drink my flask. I don't have my Flask of Wondrous Physic, apparently, because, that's what happened. I was getting into the second attempt here against the mini-boss, and it was just as I was going through the fog gate that I peeked at my OBS and I saw, oh my god, there was a crash. And so I actually quit the game out really quick, but it had been after I drank my Flask of Wondrous Physic. So we don't have that for this attempt, but that's fine. It is what it is. We're going to have a Fire Knight, because we're going to bring in the Fire Knight Queen against the Misbegotten Crusader. And then we're going to go Ronnie's Dark Moon. Go. Go. It does home in on the Crusader. That's cool. That's very cool. Look at this guy's sword, by the way. There's potentially some stuff to talk about regarding this Misbegotten Crusader that I was already starting to get into right before I noticed there was a crash. But the fact that his sword, I think there might be a connection to Mikola. Perhaps. Perhaps there is a Mikola connection here that we'll discuss in greater detail. But I like this Ronnie's Dark Moon. I want to keep... Oh, will it actually find him? No, he dodged it. He dodged it. So if they dodge quickly enough, they can get out of the path of this thing. Maybe not too unexpected. Did we get the Frost? I think we did. Frost. I don't know how much effect Frostbite has on the boss once they have actually other than the initial health loss that they go through. I'm not sure exactly how much impact that has on like their stamina and stuff like that. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right. I think we got you. I think we got you. Take a gold pickle foulfoot, enemy felled. And we actually did finally get the achievement for all legendary armaments as we picked up the Golden Order Greatsword. I knew it! That sword was too cool looking to not be one that we could pick up. I knew that that was going to be the case. I've been making my way through this Cave of the Forlorn, and there's been a whole bunch of Mikola's lilies. And I was thinking, ooh, we've got something related to Mikola going on here. And sure enough, that's what it looks like. Golden Order Greatsword. A faith weapon that we pick up just as we turn the page and move on to a sorcery build, but that's okay. Greatsword made of light, modeled after the Elden Ring itself, forged by King Consort Radagon to proudly symbolize the tenets of the Golden Order, one of the legendary armaments, the last of those legendary armaments that I needed to collect. Telltale signs betray that this was once the great sword bequeathed to him by his first wife, Renala. And the unique skill, Establish Order, raise the armament in a salute, releasing a golden explosion. Repeated inputs send out waves of golden light. We actually are a little bit short in the faith department, but we can fix that with... We can fix that. We have ways of fixing that. There are ways. There are always ways to increase your faith. Oh, ye of little faith. I just want to see what this looks like. Establish Order. Go. Yep. Oh, and you do the pose. You do the pose. It's the partial T pose. Very cool. Golden explosion, repeated input, send out. Oh, you can keep doing it. Let's drink. And let's keep on doing it. Repeated inputs. Oh, I see. Okay. And you do this little spinorama. Okay. This game is just full of so many awesome, amazing weapons. Love it. Love it. And I'm having fun with my new greatsword. I just wish, you know, I hadn't lost any footage, but you know, I'm proud of myself. I am proud of myself for holding it together against we had that episode before where I had the audio was missing, right? We had an entire episode where the game audio just was not being recorded. Okay, why the heck is there an octopus right here at the what are you doing here? Stalker much? Hello? Insta frostbite? Is that what just happened? Why are you following me? This guy was so eager to get into the Cave of the Forlorn. What the fuck? So yeah, just to recap our little fun shenanigans out here. There was a magma worm, guys, just sitting over here. I don't know how there's a magma worm or how there was a magma worm. Oh, there's an item up there that I missed. Okay, it's a good thing I came back out here. Totally missed this item because I was too preoccupied with the freaking magma worm, befuddled about the fact that I missed this area of the map. I think I made a mental note of it at one point, but then we just, you know, the consecrated snowfield was not my favorite place. Y'all will probably remember. And then by the time, you know, we started getting toward, like, the idea of getting to the Halig Tree started looming large in my mind, and I was like, I'm done with the snowfield. I'm ready to move on. And there was an entire section that needed to be explored. But yeah, a magma worm, I think his name was Draconix. I think. And what is this? An ancient dragon smithing stone. Of course. Of course, of course, of course. So, let's check out that new spell. I think that was the message that popped up on my screen. We should have another Church or Cathedral of Dragon Communion option. I was proud of myself that I did not completely lose it after this most recent crash, because when I went to go edit that episode that had no game audio, I was so upset. I flipped a lid. I was not happy. But this time I was much more zen about things, you know? Oh, there's his name. Theodorix. What did I say Draconix? Theodorix. Theodorix's magma. Spews magma breath of Theodorix from above. So now we get that magma worm. All the dragon breath spells have that version from above, and now we get it for the magma worms. Transforms caster into a great worm to spew a large amount of magma breath. The name of the ancient troll warrior Theodorix lives on as a hero of the war against the giants. So that was actually a troll warrior with that name, and then somehow that got passed on to this magma worm? Or did he turn into a magma worm? Because isn't that a supposedly tarnished can turn into dragons? But I guess trolls can turn into dragons as well? Question mark? Theodorix. There you go. All right, 2 dragon hearts. We're definitely picking that up, of course. Of course, of course. And we consume those dragon hearts. We could actually cast this if we did do the thing that I was thinking of doing. Speccing those points into arcane. We'll see. Maybe at one point we will switch to a little bit more of a hybrid build, but I want to focus on the sorceries for now. Especially if I can keep my recording going so you all can see me having fun with these sorceries. Because I was thinking that we might not have time to do the other thing on my list. I've got 2 more things on my list. One of them involves Latenna, if I didn't say it already. We've got a little bit of closing the book on our friend Latenna. But I also had been notified, and it had been hinted to me. Is this where I want to go? I actually want to go here, I think. There is a section in the map here in Limgrave. There's another cave that I missed. And it was in this part is even maybe a little more frustrating that I missed this cave somehow, because I actually did go to explore here. But this section under the Saints Bridge, apparently, maybe back here, maybe there is a part that I could navigate to that I just didn't. I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's see if we can find this. And along the way, we will get the chance, hopefully, to try out these spells actually while the camera is rolling. Because this Adula's Moonblade was pretty fun. Got to use this a couple times against the octopuses that were out in the snowfield. Obviously, the octopi here in Limgrave are slightly weaker than their snowfield counterparts. So we're not going to see the Moonblade to its greatest effect. Oh, there's actually I forgot there was a spirit spring here. You can jump down from the bridge as well. Okay, so I need to pay attention here, but I think, I feel like if there is a place where I've missed something, it's back here. Because when I looked at that map earlier, while we were while I thought I was recording and talking about this, this section here is what looks like it would have something that I had missed. It's textured in that way. Maybe? But maybe not. It is kind of the edge of the map. Do I need to... No, the hint that I was given was that this was under the Saints Bridge. So maybe I do need to be a little more... Equip a torch and actually look in places that are not well lit. Let's get a torch out here. Let's get one. I guess we can... The Nanaya's torch we're still allowed to use because we actually have enough faith. And we have enough intellect now, so... The Frenzied Flame can live on for just a little bit longer. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, it's right here. It's right here. How in the hell... I must have come here at night. That's the only thing I can think, is that I came here at night and I was not looking... I wasn't looking clearly enough. I remember when I did finally explore down here, it was kind of after we had left Limgrave, wasn't it? I don't remember... my memory's a little hazy, but I do remember being like, oh, wait, there's this part under the bridge that we never explored. And I still, to this day, had never really explored it, because here you go. High Road Cave. What the fuck? Okay, cool. I'm guessing that this cave is probably, given that it's in Limgrave, we're not gonna be running into as much difficulty as we were, because I did die a few times to the magma worm, and I did die the one time to the misbegotten Crusader. Was that his name? So the snowfields were still giving me some grief. I had found, I didn't show you guys just now, but there was, on my way down to that part of snowfields, there was actually a part up here by the Albanoric Rise that there was an item that you could drop down to. It was so hard to see. I only knew about it because I saw the item from down below. I came down here to start exploring because this was the first part that I thought of. I was like, it's supposed to be on the eastern side of the map. And so I thought, well, maybe have I explored down here? And sure enough, I hadn't. And then I realized that you could drop down from Albanoric's Rise. I came back around here and through the frickin' snowstorm, managed to make the descent to that item. And why did I bring that up again? Why did I mention that? I don't remember exactly. It was another part of our excursion into the snowfield that is forever lost to time and only in my memory to recount here. Okay, Loretta's Great Bow. Let's try it. I've done this already once, but the Great Bow is cool because you get to charge it up and then you get to hold on to it until you are ready. You don't have to let it go until you are absolutely sure that you're gonna hit your mark. That's a cool one. Loretta's Great Bow. It's not the strongest sorcery. It's not the strongest sorcery. What do we want to use against these guys? Let's use the Moonblade again. It's not the strongest one. The Comet Azure is cool as well, but I don't want to use it against one of the wolves. We don't have to charge it up all the way. Okay, it still does actually not a lot less damage. Far closer to max damage there without the charged up shot than I was expecting. So we've got actually 3 ways to go here, don't we? We've got another drop down, and then did I try running into this? Not a swamp. There was the spot over here that the wolves were hiding. Let's go here first. Suswall? Suswall? Not so much. Not so much. We're still recording here. This is good. No more crashes today. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I'm not gonna allow it. Not when we're trying out new spells. New spells must be... I see some wolves hiding in the dark. Should we try this fleeting microcosm? Let's try this out. Oh, wow. Look at that, how it lights up. Oh, okay. I had missed that before. I had been using it against some jellyfish in the... there were some jellyfish in that Cave of the Forlorn. That was awesome. it has a like an initial bit of damage, but then there's like a huge explosion. Let me go ahead and read that spell to remind myself exactly how we gotta get the details on how these all of the new fun weapons in our arsenal actually work. We can charge it. It's one of these that does work. It enhances the potency if you charge it. Conjures an image of a microcosm at a foe's feet that pulses with a single wave before disappearing in a burst. And it looked like that disappearing burst did quite a bit more damage. But we could maybe even make it better by charging it up. So let's try that. That is cool. I'm having so much fun, guys. This has been the best. I just, you know, I had started to get the feeling. I thought I was going to take a longer, probably a far longer break from the game than I have, just because there's other games out there that I've been looking forward to playing, and we're going to be playing some of those here on the channel. But Elden Ring, it's still so good. And as I was, you know, the ideas that were starting to go through my head of various builds, reading people's comments about different builds to try, I was getting the juices started flowing, and I wanted to play, and I'm so glad I did. Even if a little bit of our recording time here got lost to the sands of time, got lost to the whims of the OBS gods. Okay, 2 ways to go. 2 ways. That is not a sus wall. I don't know why I thought. Let's go down. One of these paths goes down. Do I want to go down, actually? Nope, nope. I changed my mind. Let's go up. Let's go up. I'm getting flashbacks here to these Limgrave caves with the wolves. Oh. Sus wall? Wait, why is this a... Not a sus wall. It's just a path, a part of the path here that leads to some cave moss, and then the light from the late day is bleeding in through one of the textures here. What's up with that? Why does Elden Ring do this with the funky lighting? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, why don't we try one of the spells that I have not tried for myself? That this is actually going to be a first-time reaction, is me using Impenetrable Thorns. I will take the time to remind myself exactly how this works. We'll read about this one first. I've just been jumping in and trying these spells without reading. But this time I'll read the manual, guys, to make sure I don't do it wrong. The sorcery can be used repeatedly. The caster wounds their own flesh using Impenetrable Thorns, which then sprout from the earth. Okay. And this is one that you need faith for. I don't need I forgot about my talisman here. Forgot about my faith talisman that was still in the chamber. What do I can probably get away with my greed talisman here. I had switched away from the greed talisman very quickly when I ran into the magma worm. I so quickly ditched that talisman to put on fire protection because I was taking some serious damage from that magma worm. Okay, Impenetrable Thorns. Let's do this. Oh, we do. Oh, wait. Oh, were we not close enough? So we did take a little bit of damage. Oh, no. Do we have to be really close to them? Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, I'm going to do... I'm going to do the Fleeting Microcosm again. I want to try this one more time. But this time I want to charge it. That is fun. The charging didn't seem to enhance the damage that much, but maybe it enhances the radius, the blast radius. Okay, now that we're on the ground, when we get up into melee range with one of these wolves, let's try to give another try to the Impenetrable Thorns. Will you do this side path first? One of the little things that I had mentioned... Yeah, I was like, where's the trap coming from? Where's the trap coming from? Wait, what is it doing? I don't understand. It didn't damage the wolf at all. Oh, there it is. Okay. That is such short range damage. There is almost 0 range on that. Huh? What am I missing about this sorcery? It's... Is the impenetrable thorns... It can be used repeatedly. Should I try doing that? Just keep casting it. Just keep casting it. One of the things that I had been, you know, bemoaning in the time that we unfortunately... Ooh, Arteria Leaf. One of the things that I had mentioned to nobody in particular because I wasn't actually recording. How does this work? Okay, there it actually hit him. Is this like, is it... What am I... Oh, was I not far enough away? Is that the problem? Is it actually sprouting the thorns like at a distance? Maybe that's what I'm missing. I think that's what it's doing. I think I'm too close. Yeah. We're maybe not seeing the full damage potential because we're just, you know, firing off against some wolves here. Wolves that die in one hit, but that's okay. All right, now I'm starting to understand. Dude, is that a bat? Was there a bat here that I killed? Is this... what? Or are these bats that were being fed on by the wolves? What? Because I don't think I killed some bats, did I? I think these are... Oh, what the fuck? There's just a dude here. There's just a dude here. I don't think that rainbow stone's going to be bright enough. I need my glowstones. Glowstone tech, activate. Glowstone tech. Is this one of the Kaiden guys? Kaiden sellsword duders up in here? So, and just some bats, and they were getting... The wolves were feeding on them. What? All right, so I'm starting to get a little bit lost here. I'm going to use a flask. I'll also try to finish my thought. Finishing my thought from before. Wait, did we already come through here? I guess I already came through here, and here's another dude. It's just dead. I guess I came through here already. All right. That was the only little question I had, was I wanted to circle back around because I was like, oh, there's this path on the right that I didn't go through. Well, it turns out it actually just connects to the one that you went to on the left. So good. I was bemoaning the fact that I don't have a trickle heal anymore. That's what it was. There's no more trickle heal, guys, because now we're a sorcerer. And, you know, dude, this is kind of insane. This looks like, it kind of feels like one of the DLC caves. Compared to a lot of the caves in the base game, at least in the Limgrave area, this is a massively wide open area. This is interesting. Huh. What a unique cave layout, frankly. We haven't seen any other caves in the base game like this. I see you up there. Does my Loretta's Great Bow reach you? Charge it all the way up. Lock it in. Unleash the Loretta's Great Bow. Let's go. This sorcerer build is fun. It's fun, guys. And it's fun finding stuff that you missed before. Even if it's just a random little cave out in Limgrave. Oh, I rolled the wrong way. Fuck. I thought I was dead. I thought for sure I rolled off to my doom. I got lucky. Where the hell is the ambush coming from? Where the hell is the ambush? Even if we're out here picking up smithing stones level 1 and 2, we're still visiting a part of the game that we've never been to before, and that That's what counts. Oh, octopus, great. Octopi, my favorite. Octopi, my favorite. Yeah, this is just a very, very unique cave setup. Now, where do we go down? Where do we jump down? Are we jumping to where that bat is? Is that what I'm doing here? Or do I need to be, can I just, oh, I can jump to this. Like, is that not a kill box? Like, if I land in the water, I'm gonna die, right? So, am I missing something here? I don't think I'm missing anything. I think we have to make a jump. I just wish I had a little more light. But I could use some glowstones to help give me that light. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, there is actually a ledge. Never mind. There is actually a ledge there. Okay. All right, I'm glad I used a glowstone. Because I thought for sure that if I took the fall like that, I was going to be falling into my doom. To my doom. Instead, we continue the journey. I like this great bow. I love the sniper ability. And then the microcosm. Oh, that animation is so sick. A new weapon. A Shamseer. Still getting new weapons at this stage of the game. Curved sword with a thin blade of ample length. Light of weight, despite its larger size, its slicing attacks come in rapid succession. A devastatingly powerful weapon in the hands of a skilled swordsman. Boom. New weapon, get. All right. And that's where we came from. So there is a path. Now this is falling to your death. But somehow we should be able to get this item over here, but I'm guessing we're going to have to go around to make that happen. So let's do that. Let's do that. There's an octopus. Hi. You do blend in very well in the shadows. Just letting you know. Dude, so many dead Kaiden warriors up in here. That's an interesting, a unique, oh my god. A unique look for a cave. It's so unique. What do we do, guys? What's the new, well, I guess we've kind of, oh, we can do Azure. That's the one we haven't done yet. Azure, I learned, you get to channel this thing. And it just spends all your mana, and it's awesome. I think it's not gonna fully do what I want because... Nope, never mind. Never mind. Octopus annihilated. There you go. Okay, Comet Azure, go! It's like, I got this. It's just a freaking Limgrave octopus. No big deal. Don't worry. Don't stress. You ain't gotta worry. Ain't got shit to worry about. When the Comet Azure is on the case. That is the one path forward, I think. This is where I came from. Just making sure I get my... Yep, that's where I came from. I'm pretty sure. So now we go over here. There's another octopus that almost escaped the Dark Moon. You thought. All these dead warriors on the ground, some of them, I keep forgetting that they're just dead warriors and they're not actually going to jump up and get me. Oh, I see. I was like, is this the end of the line? There's got to be a mini boss, isn't there? I think there is. I think there is over here. Cool. That's nifty. Elden Ring is so good. Even just a simple little cave is so much fun when you're discovering it for the first time, you know? The simple things in life is what it is all about. Are we gonna... We're gonna use a different summon. It really doesn't matter, though, because this boss is gonna probably die in, like, 2 hits. But who are we gonna use this time? Somebody we haven't done before. Which is who? I've lost track of who has actually been utilized and who has not been. Let's summon the Inquisitors. I don't know if we've used them before. Inquisitors, your time to shine is now. Get in there. Yo, it's one of these, yeah, the guarding golems. All right. Yeah, I think we know how to handle one of these guys. I'm guessing Impenetrable Thorns is not going to be a good idea against you, but we can try this. Never mind. Wow, that actually does a good amount. And it does have, you know, the range on this Impenetrable Thorns is pretty impressive, actually speaking. Commodazora is also pretty nice. If I can actually get it off. If I'm actually allowed. No, what the fuck? Bro. Yeah, I forgot your breathe fire. If I'm being honest, I forgot that was a thing that could happen. I'm gonna drink. We're not even close to dying, but I might as well drink because you do no damage. Dude, we do so much freaking damage. Let's finish you off with a fleeting microcosm. Boom. The starry cosmic finish. And we get a new talisman, a blue dancer charm. What'd this do? Raises attack power with lower equipment load. A cloth doll depicting a dancer in garbed blue. We were checking out the dancer's outfit, the alternate dancer's outfit. Now we have a charm to go along with it, an ancient heirloom of some sort. The dancer in blue represents a fairy, who in legend bestowed a flowing sword upon a blind swordsman. Blade in hand, the swordsman sealed away an ancient god, a god that was wrought itself. Wrought itself? The dancer in blue represented a fairy who in legend bestowed a flowing sword upon a blind swordsman. I'm just thinking, is this somebody that I know? A dancer, blue dancer. When you talk about rot, your mind goes to Melania. That I don't think is who is being... Feel free to give me some hints, guys. I don't know who this is talking about, if this is somebody in game that we know. But, you know, at this point, feel free to nudge me in the right direction, because that's the stage of the game that we're at, and it's a lot of fun to be able to, you know, talk a little bit more openly with you all and converse about such an amazing game. So there we have it. The High Road Cave has been dealt with. The Cave of the Forlorn and the last little section of the Consecrated Snowfield. There's probably some stuff I've missed there as well. But one last little bit of one last item that we have to attend to here before we sign off is Latenna, our friendly Albinorg who has been by our side for basically the entire way. And I had been nudged. A nudge I received from one of you all had been regarding Latenna, because frankly, I forgot. Well, I didn't forget about our friend out here, even though I thought you were Loretta, and that turned out to be wrong. I still don't know who you are, but I do know I did review just earlier today. I looked at the last bit of dialogue that we had here when we summoned Latenna, and I had failed to remember. It had happened so long ago now that I forgot that she told us. Let me just look it up. Let me bring it up in my notes and we'll take a look at it right now. And let me also actually just equip Latenna before I do that. Let's put her on. I don't know that I need to have her here on my quick items because I can't summon her here. We've done that already. But when we were here and we summoned her at the Apostate Derelict, she said, "O young yet towering sister of ours, let the birthing droplet in and create life for us, for all the Albinorics." I still don't know what the heck was going on with that birthing droplet. Don't know who this friend is, the towering sister. But we have speculated on that, the fact that the Albinorics are probably clones of some sort. But then she says, "Thank you, I finally fulfilled my purpose. Our young yet towering sister will give us hope. Now that nothing is left unfinished, I will join you in battle to the bitter end, and when the fighting is done, then you may lay me to rest beside Lobo, my dear wolf. When the fighting is done. I think we're at that point, aren't we? There's really nothing left to do as far, I mean, I think there are probably some, like, I would imagine there's at least a couple night-only enemies out here somewhere that I've missed. Just as a Cat Laser Brain side note here, I have gone through trying to remember all of these places and marking them with the little skulls here. Places where we've run into like a Deathrite Bird or a Knight's Cavalry, just to try to see if maybe I could piece together a part of the map where we had not run into a nighttime specific enemy. Like one area I could see maybe I didn't explore at night was the this part up here in the area of the giants, the mountaintops of the giants, close the area right before the fire giant himself. But on that side note, if you do have any nudges or hints as to where to find nighttime only enemies that I've missed, feel free to let me know. And we'll cover those as we can in New Game Plus. But as far as New Game is concerned, I think this is where we are going to wrap it up. And so there's only one last thing to do, I think, and that is to return Latenna to her friendly, bring her back to her wolf, Lobo. Or not. Oh, I thought for sure that this was going to be what we needed to do. I thought that this was, oh. Well, all that lead up, and now I'm looking a little bit silly because apparently there's no prompt here to summon Latenna. I thought that based on her dialogue when I reviewed that earlier, that the clue that I had been given, because let me revisit the note, the nudge that I had been given. The commenter had said, although she misses her other half Lobo, she is still one Albinauric known for her wolf riding skills. I had thought, based on her dialogue, that the idea was going to be to come back to Lobo here at the shack. But it doesn't look to be the case. So if we're not returning her here to Lobo, but the nudge was, although she misses her other half, Lobo, she is still one Albinauric known for her wolf riding skills. Well, now I'm going to have to do a little bit of thinking, because there have, you know, okay, so there have been places like near Ordina, where we've run into, you know, Albinaurics that we've done battle with, and ones that have, it's been actually across the snowfield. Across the snowfield where we've had run-ins with the wolves. Now, in this case, I do see that this wolf here does not have a rider. But there's no way that we would be able to get, like, we can't, like, have Latenna start riding this wolf. They become hostile to us immediately. So it's not like we're finding a new wolf that Latenna can actually use to ride into battle. Huh? What? I think there was a next level of this hint, and I might need to check it out here, because I thought for sure we were just going to be going to Lobo, and that was going to be the end of the story. Like, these are clearly, you know, like, Latenna's friends, I guess you could say. I guess that, you know, they're not friendly to us, but they sure, I thought every single one of them was Latenna. When I was here before, I was like, that's Latenna. Is this Latenna? That looks like Latenna. Huh. The direct tip says to try to summon Latenna near a big wolf. Try to summon Latenna near a big wolf. Where would that be? I am not sure where that might be, because right here, there's obviously a couple big wolves, but we can't summon. We can't summon Latenna. At least, yeah, like we don't get the monument icon. We don't have the ability to summon Latenna here. So where would that be? In the presence of a big wolf? What? And it's not the slumbering wolf's shack. Let me just try. We didn't get the prompt, a prompt of any sort to summon Latenna, but I should just press the button if nothing else. Just try this. No, we can't summon. We can't summon. This is like, what wolf? I mean, it's not, we're not talking about the large wolves that are in the caves. That just like, there's so many random wolves around the maps, but we're not talking about one of those. We're talking about one of these wolves that can be ridden. Except where would there be one that Latenna could ride? We, of course, had that part of the DLC. There was this random, you know, Albanorix shack up here by Shadowview. But I mean, we can go up here and see. But I don't remember us having the ability to summon. And also, this wolf already has a rider, doesn't it? So I don't... Oh, actually, by the way, there's one other bit of housekeeping maybe here that we should do first, which is the fact that we got that other Shadow Tree fragment. Can we actually get another level here in our Shadow Tree Blessing? We can! Look at that! That feels correct. We actually get our Shadow Tree Blessing up to a level 20, along with a Revered Spirit Ash Blessing of a level 10. So that feels correct. That feels like we actually maxed that out. So nice. Now, could we actually summon Latenna here? I don't remember being able to summon anybody near this Albanorix shack, but I don't... I was sort of caught off guard by the presence of an Albanorix shack to begin with. We're not able to summon. We're not able to summon at all. So, I don't see how... This one doesn't make sense. This Albanorix is connected to Gaius, right? And there's nothing more to that story, I don't think. So I reached out for some help, a little help in the Discord on this Latenna interaction. And my buddy Kev actually had a pretty good suggestion, which was to come here to Caria Manor, because there are these wolves that are roaming around. The Lobo-style wolves. And that would be like a perfect candidate, potentially, for an interaction where you could summon Latenna nearby, except as I was sneaking all around this area, next to, there's like 3 wolves patrolling around, sneaking around Sekiro style, trying to find a place to actually summon Latenna, I could not find that place. The only place to summon her is on these stairs. And the stairs... where there's like a troll and some mages and stuff, you know, they're not near the wolves. And so I thought to myself, huh, this doesn't seem to be the spot either. I asked for a little more direction even from my sister, who, from what she had found online, it seemed that you couldn't do this unless the boss was actually active. So I thought that maybe we needed to wait until New Game Plus before I beat Loretta to actually get this to happen. But it seems like you can actually do this now, because the person who actually gave me the nudge in the first place finally chimed in the Discord to say, hey, wait a second, I think you can actually do this without going to New Game Plus. You just need to go and clear out the troll and the mages, clear those guys out, and then summon Latenna on the stairs, but kite over one of the wolves. So I hadn't thought of that idea. I hadn't thought about, oh, just you can kite one of the wolves over to Latenna summoned on the stairs? I didn't fully charge it up, but I think it probably still would not have killed him. So once they're onto you, they no longer take that bonus first strike damage or whatever it is. Let's try this. Let's just put Lieutenant here. And then you hang out. You just sit tight right there, Lieutenant. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna try to bring a wolf our way. I am a little afraid though that this great bow is gonna be too strong. It's just that I don't have the bone dart is not gonna go well. Actually, that went a lot farther than I thought. Huh? Could I do this with like a really weak? Maybe I have a really weak sorcery. Oh, I have to go to the. Let's try the great bow and just see. It might kill the wolf, and I might have to equip something else. But I feel like this is the only long distance option that I have right now that actually gets the wolf's attention. Assuming I could actually hit him. The wall is sort of getting in the way. There it is. There it is. Okay. Oh, but But Lieutenant's hostile to the wolf. This isn't gonna work, is it? The wolf isn't even coming up here. The wolf is not even pathing this way. Maybe I need to somehow. I don't see how I can attract the wolf's attention without it becoming hostile to me, first of all. Maybe I have another projectile besides bone darts that goes... Like, do the throwing daggers maybe actually go far enough? Could I get this to work? No, but see, Lieutenant just disappeared. I only have to step this far away and Lieutenant is gone. I am not sure that this is actually something that I can get to work. The way it's being described to me, it doesn't feel like this is a natural thing that the game wants to happen. And yet, and yet supposedly, you know, I've got somebody who's insisting that it can happen. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this is something I just need to look up myself. Okay, I rebooted the game real quick because I thought about maybe, let me just make sure I can resummon Lieutenant. What I might be able to do is aggro the wolf first, like just go into melee range and get the wolf to follow me. And then summon Lieutenant up there. Just get the wolf to actually come my way. Here's where I could use a throwing dagger, I guess. Yeah, see, the throwing daggers don't have... There we go. Can I actually jump up here? I can. He should follow me, I would think. He's a wolf, right? I was a little surprised that he didn't follow us when I hit him with the great bow. But maybe this is one of those... Like, can he actually follow us up here? He does. So he's here. Now, will he let me actually summon... Oh, now I gotta get to Lieutenant on the bar. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. She's just attacking him like any other enemy. There's no like... What? I don't see how you're supposed to do this. I think I did exactly what I was supposed to. That feels like exactly what I'm supposed to do, is to get the wolf. I don't see how I get the wolf to come over here without it being hostile to me, first of all. Is there some special item that like makes, like pacifies wolves or something? I guess we have this, the beast. Man, this is so elaborate. This is starting to get so elaborate that makes me feel like it's really not meant to be a thing. But I was thinking about we have those special beast lure pots, right? I need to be able to lure one of the beasts. Can I do that with... So he's looking at me, isn't he? He sees me, I think. I'm picturing the Sekiro yellow arrow that's slowly filling up to red. Because I think that's how it works, right? But he's also not aggroing to me, so I don't know. Can we do a beast lure pot right here? I feel like that's not close enough. That's not close enough. What about down here? Oh, that's still not close enough? Really? Oh, that's disappointing. That's not what I was hoping to happen. Not what I was hoping would happen. Are you coming for me or not, bro? There he is. Now, can he actually jump up here? I don't think he can quite jump up this high. We need to, like, get him to figure out how to come around. There he is. There he is. Okay, I think he's onto us. But this is gonna be the same as before, right? Unless I use another Beast Lure pot now. Use the Beast Lure pot to get him off my back. Except, no, that's not what's happening. He just completely ignored the Beast Lure pot and continued attacking me. And now that he's hostile to me, Latenna is hostile to him. And it's like, I don't see how you do this. I don't get how you do it. Doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, Latenna's having the same struggle that I've been having. Or the same struggle that I was having. These wolves are a handful. But they're not interacting in a special way with our friend, the Albinauric. I suppose one thing we could try would be to actually just use a bow and arrow. I kind of forget the fact that, you know, we're using the Redis Great Bow. There's actually just regular bows in this game, and that's probably our best. Now that I think of it a little bit more, we even have an Albinauric bow. That would be perfect, wouldn't it? We can actually just fire off. We can do the bow thing ourselves. I just need to remember how it works. There we go. Yeah, okay, got it. So now I don't actually want to fire the arrow yet because I want to summon Latenna first. So now if I do it this way, okay, I have to say, I should add one thing here is that I did take the liberty of looking up. I had another, somebody in the Discord did post a video in spoiler tags about the interaction, which I did decide to take a look at because this interaction is not happening how it has been described to me. And so I wanted to take a look myself. And it sure looks like I'm doing what is in the video, but there was one difference that maybe, you know, I had not tried. What we did just a moment ago, we pulled the wolf over first and then summoned Latenna. But maybe what we're supposed to do here is summon Latenna and then bring the wolf over. Maybe, it's kind of what I had been trying to do from the beginning. But the difficulty that we run into here is if I get too far away, Latenna goes away. Unintentional run. But if I can get right here, Latenna stays around. And we can now get the wolf to come over. Let's try that again. Oh, crap. Okay. Well, he's actually responding. I can see that he's responding to... There we go. There we go. And Latenna is immediately hostile, but maybe what I saw from the video is there was a very specific way that... Oh, but see, with that wolf, the wolf doesn't actually come over here. This was the problem we had to begin with. Like, how do I get one of these... This is so frustrating, man. This is not working the way I want it, guys. It's not working the way I want it. Let me reboot the game here and try this one more time with bringing the wolf over first. I did decide to do some additional Googling, though, to see, you know, try to get some details on whether this thing is intended or not. And it does actually look like they don't know for sure if it's intended behavior. There were some people speculating that this may not actually be something that's meant to happen. And that's the feeling I get. That's certainly the feeling I get given, the level of difficulty involved in actually getting this to work. It makes me think that maybe this is not meant to actually happen. Because the videos show, like, the wolf jumps at Latenna. She's gonna kill him off before he can actually even get to her, though. Like, It's at that point right there where he's supposed to like jump to her, and then all of a sudden, spoiler alert, I think we kind of knew where this was going though, but I was hoping to see it for myself for the first time in game, but this thing is just so finicky. She's supposed to mount the wolf, you know, like her friends. She's supposed to take mount, even though she no longer has the use of her legs, or what was the detail actually again? It's been a while since I've reviewed Latenna's lore. What was the tidbit here about her mobility? What is the reason for that exactly? Renowned as a death magic archer, having lost her... Oh, that's why. She lost her beloved wolf companion Lobo, but she cannot... Is it because she... Maybe it's just because the Albinorix in general can't walk. Maybe that's what it is, because none of the others, we've not seen any of the others. It's not a Latenna specific thing, is it? This is just an Albinoric defect. That's why they ride the wolves, because they otherwise can't move around. They don't have use of their legs. The point being, though, that there's supposed to be this interaction where the wolf jumps, and then even though Latenna was attacking, all of a sudden she puts down her bow and she mounts the wolf. And there's like this really cool frost breath attack that she enables somehow by riding the wolf, which is also kind of sick, and I wish I could have seen in game here. So I can't seem to get this to work. If you guys know what I'm doing wrong, if this is an obvious thing that I could be doing differently, feel free to let me know. But that is where we are going to wrap up this installment of Elden Ring. I was hoping we could end it on a little bit more of a successful note, but this will have to do. This episode has been... Considering we didn't even make it into New Game Plus, this has been a ton of fun. Thank you all for hanging out with me to the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, consider doing the YouTube thing and hitting all those buttons down below. It helps a ton, and this is gonna be fun, guys. I'm looking forward now to turning the page to New Game Plus. I'm so glad to be playing Elden Ring again with you all. I enjoyed my little time off, but like I said before, I was just kind of, you know, I wanted to get back to the game, and I've really had a lot of fun checking out these sorceries that we've been doing here, and there's so many more to experiment with. We didn't even get to the transient moonlight. We'll save that for next time. But yeah, like I said, this New Game Plus is not going to be something that it's not going to be a very frequent upload schedule. There's not going to be any regularity to it. It's just going to be whenever I get around to it, whenever I manage to put together enough footage that makes an episode. That's going to be it. And but I think that is better than... It's going to give us a chance to continue to discuss all of the lore that we still have to wrap our heads around, and all the different Melina dialogue and NPC quest lines that are going to be different in New Game Plus. And I know there's many of you that are anxious for me to do lore reactions at some point. I do want to do lore reactions. I'm just not there yet. Hang in there with me. We'll get there. I just have other stuff I want to do first. I have other things yet to experience. And we're going to have so much fun experiencing those things as we re-explore for a second time the lands between. And the Shadow Realm as well. Oh, gosh. New Game Plus DLC, that's going to be... Well, we don't have to worry about that for a while, at least. Thankfully. As always, thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.